Hello, it's season 3!
Season 3.
Season 3.
With me, Sam.
Oh, we're doing it in reverse, sorry. And me, Neil.
And I'm here too, Matt. Woo.
So,
I've got no voice.
traditionally, Matt would do the intro and it would be Matt, Neil, then Sam. However, Matt's lost his voice. So I am endeavouring to do most of the talking for Matt so that he doesn't hurt his vocal cords.
Nah, whatever.
So I will read Matt's bit, Neil, you read your bit, and then I'll read my bit again.
What are we doing?
Welcome to this instalment of the Adeptus Terra podcast.
Strap in and relax.
Come and get your monthly hit of 3 idiots hooked on plastic crack. We hope you enjoy the chaos you're about to experience. Hello. And this is season 3, episode 1 of the Adeptus Terra podcast. Interestingly, you haven't put a quip.
I've gone
name.
back to the tradition of we just make some shit up.
Just make some shit as we go. It normally happens that way. It normally happens that way anyway. Podcast news is where we're going to start, and it's important to call out the monthly hangout. So the next monthly hangout will be the 23rd of February. So hosted on Google, despite what any adverts may or may not say. Hosted on Google. We'll normally post the link in either Discord or onto the Facebook group. Then there should be an event created closer to the time. We're pretty good at doing that sometimes. But it'll be the 23rd of February. Come along. It's normally a pretty good 6 or 7 people come, and we all chat nonsense and paint some models or build some stuff and yeah. Also at this point, it's really good to call out the weekly hangout hosted by Mike. Yeah. They've been going now for what, like 3 years, 4 years?
At least 3.
Crazy amount of time. And that is also on Google Hangout. The link is normally posted in both the Facebook and the Discord as well. And that takes place at 8:30 every Wednesday. So again, come hang out, paint some stuff. Don't paint some stuff. Have a good laugh, talk nerd stuff, and do some Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be Warhammer. It can be anything you like. I've started branching
out. It's just an opportunity to hang out with some like-minded people, chat some fun, get some encouragement, banter with each other. Like, it's just good time.
Yeah. Good. Right. Is there any other podcast news?
Not that I am aware of. The start of this new year.
No, you got any?
No.
Any news you want to share?
We're still here and we're doing another season. There you go.
There's the news.
That's news. That's news. Cool. Well, we'll do our monthly highlights. So this is the Legion of 3, the new segment called the Legion of 3. And slightly different to what we were doing before, where we would go through and do all of our updates individually. We're going to have a bit of a round robin discussion covering purchases, any models worked on, and then any other kind of discussions we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So starting with purchases, probably the most important part of the hobby, because you can't do the hobby unless you purchase or are gifted something. So we'll start with you, Matt, because yours looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, this is the Christmas present edition.
Yeah.
So I got a box of the Tech Thralls Covenant. For AdMech, for my Ultramarines mech allies that I plan to do this year.
Cool.
As well as a box of the Mark 6 Assault Marines, so 10 Assault Marines.
Nice.
As well as a new Dirty Down Rust, because I used a bunch of my original one on the terrain for the event.
Yeah.
So I got a new one because I'm going to be using a bunch of it with the Death Guard.
Right.
Which is my kind of main painting focus, I think, at least at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I want to get that going. So I asked for another pot of that, and I got it. But that's me.
Have you looked at any other Dirty Downs that you might want to use?
I already have the Verdigris.
Verdigris, cool.
Yeah, which I used on some terrain, which I might use sparingly on like the Dreadnought or something like, just to spot colour a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to get the moss eventually.
Yeah.
Because the downed Warhounds that I got from Neil are going to go on like a jungly board, so I think the moss could go really well on that.
Yeah. Almost have it creeping up.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
With that one, definitely look at tutorials online to see how it's used, because it's a bit of a weird one from memory of seeing a video on it very many years ago.
Yeah. No, I'd definitely do that.
Or do what Normie does. Just slap a load on.
No, I'm pretty good. And what I do is I watch the video and then I just slap a load on
because it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. We'll fix it in post. Battle damage is key.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fine. Green battle damage. This is a green
get
tank.
the flamer, it's fine.
No, you know that lichen you get from like hobby shops to put on bases and stuff. If if it goes wrong, I just stick that over the top.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same sort of thing you wanted.
Yeah.
Neil?
Oh, okay. So yeah, the obligatory couple of Christmas presents. I got a new big ammo sanding stick. So not quite as many-sided as the one I've currently got, but it's got like 4 different grits on it, going from sort of like a high a 120 up to a high-end grit for the polishing side of things.
What's it made of?
Sandpaper? I don't know.
So are you worried about like...
It's almost like emery board kind of nail tech, bless you, nail tech kind of stuff.
So my concern is, right, I seem to go through sanding sticks at like an alarming rate. Like investing in something like a MIG one, do you get like, because it's a higher quality than probably the Amazon specials I'm buying, do you get like a bit more longevity with it?
It's all... You can moisten the surface of it, so it will get the grit, what you've sanded off, out of it easily. So you can,
because that's it, right? It gets the grit gets clogged up with the material sanding,
plastic.
Right?
Yeah, so
I normally just do the old tap on the side, and then just wipe,
snort it at the end.
I mean, obviously,
I gather my resin dust.
The metal one, the metal ones are fine.
Warp dust,
easily clean them, but the sanding sticks, the paper ones, you get them wet, they just
disintegrate. Yeah. So is the MIG one is it cardboard and with a different sanding? Was it metal on the inside with
it's a foam,
like a foam one
base? Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
And you've had one before?
I've still got it. I still use it.
You still use it, and how long you had that for?
2 or 3 years.
And you say it's still
okay.
Condition?
It's still okay.
You'd use it on your kind of like crappy models?
I'd use it on everything.
Use it on everything?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because, you scrape mould lines off normally anyway and then just tidy it up.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you scrape mould lines?
Well, I do.
I have been getting better at doing that. But we'll talk about that in the other updates. Sorry, I interrupted your next bit.
It's okay.
It's discussion. It's fine.
It's discussion. So I got a large pot of Masters brush soap finally.
So I think I got the same one. Is it the beige?
Soap. Beige one.
Yes, I got the same
I've
one.
got a pot of that.
How did you find it? Because I used it on a couple of brushes.
Amazing.
Right, I don't think we're using it the same way because it wasn't that great.
You basically put water in the soap.
No, okay, that's the first bit we did wrong.
And then you swish your brush around actually on the soap surface itself.
Right.
To get it. Then you transfer it to your hand or whatever to mash it around.
Palm in my hand to get
wash it off.
Yeah.
And then repeat.
Yeah. Maybe it's the quality of the, not the quality, maybe it's the state of the brushes which is the problem as well.
Could be. It might be worth soaking your brushes in some isopropyl alcohol.
Well,
first.
I've been having a problem with my red grass fine detail one. To be honest, right, I've painted quite a lot with this fine detail paintbrush now. Like I'm 40 Cadians in plus, a couple of other projects with it. So not like a tremendous amount, but I'd say that it's now getting to the point where it's starting to irk me, where I'll put paint on it, it'll get to a nice point, I might brush that paint onto the model like 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden you get like the devil horns,
the fork
in the middle, and I'm guessing that's because there's something in the bristles, like the ferrule.
Or it could have got to the ferrule. But the thing about this soap is you can put it on and leave it, and it all can
break it down,
condition.
Right.
But you have to. It's like when you put shampoo on, you get nice bubbly lava on your head. It's the same thing.
Do you do that?
I mean, I haven't got as much hair as you. But I haven't got as much hair as you, but it still works.
Quick question. Your ball patch, do you wash that or do you sort of go around it?
I slap it. Just go. It's fine. I go.
No, don't do that. That's awful.
It's fine.
What do you do with your bald patch? How have we reached this?
No, I just wondered because I have thick, luscious hair, so I don't have that problem.
You're thin at the back there.
I'm not thin at the back. Do you know what? I reckon it's the medication one. I was reading someone put a post on a Reddit page for rheumatoid arthritis, and they were like, "Does methotrexate give you a bald patch?" And I was like, "I do feel thinner." Sorry.
Welcome to season 3.
Yeah, old
where
men
we
on
talk
couches.
about.
I will literally. As soon as my hair goes, I'm just going to shave it. I'm going to big it.
And that's where the beard will be so important.
Exactly. So need to condition this to bring it out more.
Yeah.
And then at that point,
Just use the brush soap on it, it'll be fine.
I'll
Yeah.
stop cutting it short and just start growing it out long, and then I'll just become more beard. I'll look like those pencil. You used to get those things, the iron filings, where you could make beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just aim for ZZ Top, it's fine.
He's like down to his navel.
He was.
He was right.
He was, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, brush soap.
What is going on here? Yes, a brush soap. So yeah, just mash it in on the actual soap itself until you get a lather in it, and then you can.
Because I'm very much aware the other brushes, my older brushes, are fucked. There's no way they're probably going to get saved by brush soap.
Well, give it a go.
I did, and I threw away like 6 or 7
enough.
because it was getting to the point where
You had one.
like bits were just coming out of the brush, like as in like dry paint flecks. No matter how many times I was, so it was working.
Yes.
That was working, but it was like if you looked at I don't think I've got an example to show you, but if you look at the brush, it was literally like dandruff central style, and it was just like, and I literally was like swirling it around.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get the hose and just gonna hose this paintbrush down, try and get it all out.
I had that on a couple of brushes. So
Yeah. Do you just persevere?
I just persevered with it.
Yeah, that's definitely patience.
Patience, yeah. Comes with age, wisdom.
I definitely am keen to try and revive this red grass paint.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
really good because it is really good. And I don't want to just go. I knew the other day was weak and was like, I'm just going to order some new paintbrushes.
Yeah. I think the first time I used brush soap, I just was like so heavy-handed with it.
Right.
I was just like, get it in, and then I'm just wrecking the bristles.
Yeah.
I'm like pushing it into my hand, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just wrecking this brush.
So when you do it, do you drag it like behind the ferrule? So you're not poking directly down, so ferrule goes towards your hand. You're dragging it like,
I don't.
I just
almost like that kind of
Almost like
great radio.
yeah.
but-
Pencil kinda.
Yeah, so you're swishing it around in the palm of your hand.
What I'll do is when we
Without
post this
mashing
video, to explain that part, I'll post a video to the Instagram, no context,
Just you doing it.
not with a paintbrush, with my finger, just so you can see it.
That's brilliant.
Sam just going, this is how he cleans his
If
brush.
you've listened to the latest episode, this will make sense. That should be the caption.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do it.
So yeah, those were the Christmas presents, and in the hobby shop near where Amy lives, they've got the new MIG paint line.
Ah.
Okay.
So I bought one of the purples because it's very different to the Games Workshop stuff and the Vallejo stuff.
I see.
And I also got a
Potential Emperor's Children. Is that what you're thinking?
So for experimentation to try and work out what.
What is it? What is it? Enamel? Did you say?
No. It's acrylic.
Acrylic, right?
It's just a slight variation on the colour, so it's slightly different.
Yeah.
And I got some purple dry brush paint just to
Oh, right, yeah.
again have a mess around with that until I can finally work out how it's going to happen. I then took a trip to IKEA recently and got 2 Skadi pegboards.
This is the gamer series that they're doing, isn't it?
No. This is just the standard.
Oh no, ROG is the Republica Gamer one.
Republica
It's
Gamers,
It's their one. Okay, sorry, Cameron.
I don't need anything branded. I just need white Skadi pegboards.
Just so cool. I don't need anything branded. I'm just so unbranded.
And they're going to go mount on the wall of the hobby room.
Are they up yet?
No, because I need to go and get raw plugs and certain type of screws to go in there as well.
You should get like heavy duty wall anchors,
Probably.
so you can hang from it.
No.
That might be a bit excessive for
No,
some
but actually, if you
pegboards.
put one on the opposite side, you're gonna hang a hammock. I think painting in a hammock would be really good.
I
Can you get out of
disagree.
hangers? Can you get out of hammocks?
don't know. I've never got into a hammock. So.
Right, I've got. Oh, the stand's away. Sorry. In the summer, when the stand's out, I'll whack you in a hammock and we'll see.
Okay. That'd be hilarious.
Dunno.
As long as it's over the grass and not over the concrete.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah,
we're fine.
yeah,
Just see how that works out. What's your plan with it? Sorry.
So I'm going to print off a load of bits. Why are you typing? I'm going to print off a load of bits from the 3D printer to put on
Which
it.
video did I see that in? It was Linus Tech Tips. They did they're doing this weird series. Is that right? Does it taste good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. I was worried about that cup, but it's fine. So they're doing a series on like the what do they call it? The Tangle Doctor or something like. Basically about how people run the cables on their computers and stuff, and they're basically going and sort people's out.
Yeah.
And they've done a few staff members, and one of them, he's like in his spare time makes stuff for. Like he runs a youth charity about makers and stuff, so he's got his own setup in his there, but it's awful. But they put in pegboards to organise, and they had all of the kind of pots and connectors they had, and they've listed them for free that you can just download and use those. So maybe a good resource to. I'm sure pegboard pots are quite an easy thing to find on Thingiverse, but it just reminded me of that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's generally my purchases.
Yeah, I do love how like mine's still that childish. I got new boxes of models, and yours is like I got a really useful sanding stick and some brush soap and like that, like adult hobby presents.
It's the whole.
I was like, nah, screw that. I want models.
Don't necessarily need models because there is that big pile of plastic. Maybe not as big as pile as somebody else we know, but. It's still pretty big.
Yes.
Do you? Is it all in one big stack?
No. Why would you do that?
He doesn't own the entire building of flats.
Right. So it's not in one big stack. So how do you know what you've got?
I've got a really great memory that tells me that I've got a shed load of Space Marines, original Space Marines, a shed load of Tau, a shed load of Primara stuff.
Yeah.
A shed load of Necrons still in their magazine wrappers.
Oh man, they're in the magazines.
And some other bits and pieces.
Would you? At what point do you think you turn into hoarder? Like what was the level of hoarder?
I don't want to say his name.
No. I don't think that's hoarder. I think a hoarder would be like if you never got rid of the boxes.
No, like the empty boxes.
No.
I think a collector.
Yeah, he's definitely a collector.
Yeah. That's fine. So not that I particularly. So I have a love-hate relationship with Eons of Battle YouTube channel.
Okay.
Like some of his videos are amazing and really fun and interesting, and engaging. Like I paint an entire army in 24 hours or in a weekend, that kind of stuff. Really, really good. Some of them are less so, like just shilling their Patreon 3D print tiers.
Yeah.
A couple of those. But he did a really interesting one, which again, it was on the...
That's right, it was a bubble.
Oh, right.
The bubble in the top.
He did a really interesting video where he basically went through all of his pile of shame and then put them into boxes.
Right.
Like he asked for like those, that everybody's going mental for style troop transport boxes. The plastic ones.
No.
You've got them. Do you put models in? Magnets on the bottom?
Oh, I haven't done it yet.
No, you haven't.
But yeah,
those. So the plastic boxes.
Like useful boxes.
Really useful boxes.
Oh, type boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
so he got a couple of that, like big ones of those, and basically was like, right, all of my Space Marine bits, if they're not painted and finished, are going in there. So it might be some old models that he's going to repurpose. It might be sprues and stuff that he's not done, and basically boxed it up to like, this is my Space Marines, this is my Tau, this is that, and basically had it all in one place. And I thought that was a really good way of organising it, because I've got a cupboard. It's just all the random stuff goes in there.
Yeah, I don't understand how you even have stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, I get the models,
see.
build them,
and
then clip the extra bits into my bits boxes.
I mean, yeah.
And then
none of it's extra bits. None of it's extra bits.
I have made different life choices to you two, and as such,
I would say we have a rivaled collection with my life choices.
Possibly, actually.
I went through and removed a lot from the display cabinet. And just boxed them all up, and I was like, I don't need to look at these anymore.
No,
this is ammunition to prevent further collections.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
But like, so for example, I have the Space Marine prisoners.
Yeah. They were 3D print thing.
No. They're like, it was made by Australia, Warhammer Australia, 30k Australia. I'll get them in there, but they're in there, and they're in the back. It's still waiting to go, and will be really good for stuff like Kill Team, or something like ZM. But I just need to find a use for it and do it.
Fair enough.
So that's how I end up with stuff in there. Like, and also maybe 7 Contemptors, 3 Leviathans.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that?
That's on the top shelf, though. I can't see them when I'm standing up.
That's
the shelf is really high.
Top shelf material.
Yeah, that's how I end up. And I've got a load of Orc terrain, which is fine because I found my Kill Team boards.
Woohoo!
The Kill Team cardboard boards that came with them. So for the Kill Team segment we'll get to later, my plan is to have a Kill Team Orc board, basically like a ramshackle board, just as a random one. But then because the board is basically just like sand and like ruins and stuff on it, I feel like the other 40k terrain I've got could also then go on it as well. Yes,
cool.
Yes. Anyway, go on. Hang
on. That's pretty much it. We kind of derailed there pretty manically, but yeah, it's just
kind of the idea of this segment, to be honest.
I'm looking forward to you doing a before and after photo of the pegboards.
It'd be interesting to see.
You should do one from your door of your office and then do it after.
Tanel's response to one of my photos last year sometime, it was just like, what on earth are you doing, Neil? It works for me.
I don't have a pile of shame. I just have a display cases of shame because everything's built, but nothing is painted.
No. That's not shameful.
It's built. Very shameful.
It's built.
I look at it every day and it makes me sad.
Maybe I should get a display case and just have the sprues stacked up sideways in them, and then that could be the display shame.
Yeah. I did used to have a box that did just have all my sprues kind of standing up, but I've just slowly been cutting them down and putting them into my little drawers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, those ones normally get processed either straight away or after the project's finished, and they get stacked up in the cupboard to the left of where the bits box stays. So eventually I'll get sick of it and be like, right, fuck, I'm gonna clip all these now.
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Yes.
Right, do you want to rescue us?
Right, so I followed suit of Christmas presents and then other purchases that were made. I have been very lucky and very fortunate. We do Secret Santa in my both households now, in for Kelly's parents and my parents, and we do Secret Santa. And luckily, I think my mum got me, and she doesn't know the idea of like sticking to a budget. And she also organises like the table presents that we do for Christmas dinner and stuff like that. So I too got brush soap. Tried it out. Varying effect. It made my brushes taste weird.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Tastes soapy by any chance.
Slightly. It wasn't the head and shoulders I thought it was going to be. But yes, I tried that. I'll keep persevering. I think I need to watch a video on it. I think a video will probably help me to kind of get it in my head.
Okay.
Because the packet, the bit of cardboard on the back tells you how to do it, and it's not the way you told me to do it.
It's
basically the way it tells us to do it is have 2 pots of warm water. Use one pot as like the dirty pot and one as the clean pot. So dirty pot, you kind of warm the brush up doing that way, then do the swirly thing that you were saying about, and then put it into your hand to get it worked between into a lather, and then rinse it off into the clean pot.
Yeah.
And then go back to the dirty pot, do the rinse off the clean pot, and do that.
Can't just do this over a sink.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I was doing up here on a lunch break, and I was like, yeah, this would be a fun thing to do on a lunch break. Just sit here and watch a YouTube video, and then
clean some brushes,
and then basically by the end of it, I think I put 5 or 6 brushes that were like rock hard, paint infused. As in, like, what was happening with one of them was the paint hardening was moving up the brush, so the top of the brush was nice and flexible, but the bottom of the brush rock hard. It was like the ferrule was getting a bit like reclaiming its land. But yeah, so varying effect. I'll try again, and we'll see if we can create like an idiot's guide to a brush.
The idea as well is that it's made to do like in between large paint sessions, not after 6 months of abuse.
Which I think is the problem, right? Which is why my older brushes, I'm not convinced I'm going to save. Yeah. Whereas the red grass one, I think is young enough that it probably could be used on and be fine. And the big red grass one, perfectly fine. Like it's okay. And I did the leaving it in to let it kind of get to the point, and I've used it again, and it's perfectly fine. But yeah,
nice.
So I got some standing sticks, but not like I don't know how to explain them. They're like pointy. They're like Q-tips. Like imagine a Q-tip to like a white little bit on the end, but that bit is black and sandpaper, and it's like a it's like a bigger.
Oh,
do you know what? I'm just gonna show you.
The cocktail sticks with like a point.
We'll get there. Yes. And then
Oh,
Interesting, yeah.
effectively bamboo sticks with sandpaper,
Oh, yeah,
grit
yeah.
glued to the end,
dipped in the end.
dyed black, and then
Well, the
used-
other end would be good for green stuff.
So the other end is like being cut off at an angle, so it's like a bit pointy. I was quite skeptical at first.
Are they all the same grit, or are they different grits?
They're all the same grip. You can buy different grits
Fair enough.
from them, but these are just a
What's it say?
grit. Okay. The grit. Handily, the grit is cut off on the sticker.
Oh, that's
So,
really helpful. I would
It's
imagine
quite
it's probably.
fine. It's not.
No, that's quite rough.
So I used it successfully where on Cadians in. So where would you use these? I think because it's a point. What I think the main place to use them is to when you've done stuff like I do it, where I glue the model together before I do any of the cleanup. It gets into the nice like under the bits you can't get to.
Yeah.
So
Hip.
yeah, like the hip, like underneath the arm, like post build cleanup rather than like filing every piece of
Yeah. Clean the bits that you can see.
exactly
Yeah, 100%.
exactly that. So that's where I would use them, and they do get really good like. Because it's just like using a pencil, it's
Yeah.
like the fatigue level is quite low. And then what I tend to do is, like Neil was right, they are not quite rough, they are a little bit rough. What I've tended to do afterwards is to just go over a bit of plastic glue,
Yeah.
and then sort of just it all
Smooth
just
everything
smooths everything out. And honestly, like it looks really good. And as a when I've built models, like I've built quite a few models this month, like when I've been just down in the house and I've just built them while watching TV, so not really paying too much attention to them. So actually going back to afterwards and making sure that everything's done before they got airbrushed I use those. So
Cool.
quite good. I'd recommend them. I think they, like most things in this hobby, they have a purpose. And they're never going to tick every box that
No,
you need.
but-
Yeah.
Like I've got another one on my Amazon list that I'm looking at buying. There we go. And then on my Amazon list, I'm looking at buying in order to kind of meet that kind of like higher grit need to get a better finish. But yeah, pretty good.
Cool.
I also got a crap ton of painting caps. So my handle, the Red Glass Games handle, has like removable painting caps. I think I now have, they come in packs of 4 because they hate us. And they want you to buy more.
Yeah. They don't want to give you 5.
No, 5 would be a really good number. So I think I've now got something like 4, 8, maybe 12, maybe even 16.
So you can have 16 models like on them.
Okay.
permanently.
What's the significance of them? Like, have they got all the mechanics inside the handle, the caps themselves, or is most of the mechanics in the handle?
The mechanics are in the handle. So the handle's got a splayed pin on top of it, which then when you push it down to the caps, obviously holds it in place, and the cap spins on top of that.
Right. Okay.
So in theory, I'm sure you can 3D print them. I'm sure they exist. What I've done, they've also got a rim on them where you can then put your putty in to then stick them to either to the base, which I've done for a lot of them, or for instance the artillery guys on the my artillery guys on the artillery guns on my Cadians. They're not on a base because they'd be stuck on a 100mm base. So they're just kneeling into the putty.
Okay.
So good for that.
Yeah.
And I painted a few Cadians that way as well. And then good for sticking heads in as well, like
Cool.
on the cork on it. I also got some cork rings, which go into them as well.
Nice.
Which you
Make
can,
sure you pronounce that properly.
What cork rings?
Cock rings.
Well, you can have those as well. Have what you like. So I got some of the cork ones as well, which made like push pinned material
Do
into
they
it.
vibrate?
No. Basic pitch ones. So put those in. What I have done is where I've magnetized, and we'll get onto this a bit later. I've magnetized. I need to add that to purchases. Oh no, I did.
You did. You put magnets down there. So.
I got base magnets for my Cadians so that I could put them into a case, put them onto mount.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I got a bit happy and just magnetized 10 extra Cadians that I hadn't painted yet, and then I realised I could stick the putty to the magnets, but it's probably not going to stick very well because they are obviously quite like smooth, right?
Yeah.
So what I've done is 2 of the painting caps, I've stuck a magnet on top of the the painting cap like I would do a base, and they stick to that magnet really well.
Okay.
So I can paint them that way. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I only need to have 1 or 2 because I'll just take them off of that rather than having to keep them on the caps.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It might be great. I might have had a massive brain moment, or
no. I reckon this is a genius idea.
The magnets. So I got them from. So I got the magnets from Warmag, and they are the. They sell 2 types of magnets. Either ones that stick to the base of the rim.
Yeah.
So effectively leaving the air gap between, or they have ones that fit inside the base, which then have a flush bottom with the rim.
Yeah.
I had some magnets from them before, and which were the rim magnets, and I stuck one of them onto a base, and it basically elevated the base like 2 mil, which I thought looked a bit weird.
Yeah.
So I ordered. I ordered the I ordered the ones that go into the base, so it's nice and flush.
Yeah.
So I ordered those. I ordered enough for all 40 Cadians that I'll be doing, and then these command squads are on a bigger base.
Yeah. Because you're still using the resin glue stuff to put them in.
No, they boast a improved formula.
Okay.
And so now I'm just putting a little bit of super glue just to kind of help it.
Just to help it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a foam pad rather than just epoxy or whatever put onto the bottom of onto them. So it's like actually, I feel like it's a lot more durable, and the magnet strength is a lot lower.
That's good.
So it still holds on very well, but it's not like
it's not going
ripping it off. I'm not ripping it off.
These are all things I need to do still, so it's always good to hear.
Yeah.
I saw a guy on, it must have been Instagram, who was using a hot glue gun.
Yeah.
So he'd put the magnet on baking paper,
Yeah.
like greaseproof paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put a blob of hot glue over it, and then just push the model down onto it.
Right.
So it was flush, and then leave it, and then just peel them off.
Okay. So they don't stick to the material.
That's kind of clever.
Yeah.
And they're also flush, and so the hot glue just kind of obviously gets pushed in the cavity.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd worry the hot glue isn't going to be strong enough.
Depends how strong the magnets are at the end
Yeah, I
of the day.
suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're using like a redonkulously strong magnet,
Yeah.
then it will always rip out, and that's why the epoxy ones were better. And I think the flat magnet ones are way better for
but
magnetizing. Yeah. I'll show you in the break.
Cool.
Interestingly, on the same day I ordered 80 magnets. Liam also ordered from Warmag.
Oh, really?
To magnetize his entire solar force.
Oh, God.
So he ordered like 120 magnets.
If not, yeah.
But I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah,
We could have
chuck
just
them on the
done
same
them at the
order.
same time. Like, yeah. So yeah. And where are we else? Next up is I bought a load of putty for the top of the caps because they don't sell it with it because that makes sense. I got a dry brush board.
Oh, yeah.
Artisopus or non-aligned?
My mum got it.
Okay.
And she apparently used the link I sent, so I think it's Artisopus. It doesn't say Artisopus on it actually, so probably not.
No, it won't be. They 100% would have branded it.
Yeah, but I used it for the first time when I painted my Sentinel, and it worked really well. Yeah.
I just use a sprue.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people cut up their sprues and basically stick them to.
Yeah, I've seen loads of people do that.
Stick them to a little, like a square base, something just to add some texture. I've seen people just stick a load of their old bits to a 100mm base as well. Like, there's definitely some DIY options. I think this was like £3. So it wasn't a break the bank one, and something that my mum could very easily get. I haven't got it yet, but I've got a new painting mat, like a new cutting mat coming from Redgrass Games.
Cool.
And a Rogel Dawn tank to finish the 1,000 points.
You get in the bottom.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to store things in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to, all the extra guns that you get to make the different variants, I'm going to try and figure out how I can. They're going to be magnetized anyway, but then I might use the Warmag magnets I've got left over to stick it
Just
into
put
the
a little sheet in it,
yeah, and then so I can stick them in there, much like my Stormhammer.
Yeah.
All of the other variants guns are inside the chassis.
Yeah.
So I want it something similar. Like
That's a good idea. That's clever.
Yeah. I'm sure someone's done it. I'm sure there'll be a video on it somewhere. Weirdly, due to Element Games' policy/process, the cut-in mat wasn't in stock when my mum
waiting for
ordered
everything.
in like November. And it's not come back in stock, and she didn't have an account, so therefore it's really difficult to speak to anybody.
Yep.
Right.
In Element Games, she's managed to phone them and spoke to someone that's really, really helpful, and they sent the Rogue Dawn separately, and then they've. Although on their website it says they were getting the Red Glass games in January, like the 6th, they were like, actually, we don't know when it is coming, but we have the. I think she got me the A3 option, but they've given her the A2 option instead. So
that's gonna be massive.
Well, to be honest, I don't mind that because I have an A3 option at the moment and it lives under my keyboard.
Yeah.
And the A2 one will probably just live underneath my desk pad.
Pretty much.
And then I'll just roll my desk pad away when I'm painting.
Yeah. That's going to take up your whole entire desk.
Can't wait. It's gonna. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. It's going to be good. Look forward to it. And then I got like 3 Hero Quest expansions. I think I have most of them, other than the new one they just brought out. They keep bringing out new ones. They look really good.
Enough.
I'm enjoying them. Other purchases, I've decided to sleeve all of my Hero Quest cards.
Sure.
Because there is no easy way to denote what card belongs to what box. So I thought there's no like differentiation between them. And rather than having to look in I think it tells you what new cards you get in every like instruction book that comes with it. But rather than having to do that every time I'm packing away, I've just sleeved them all, and you get cases with the sleeves. They're there. They're still in the process of being sleeved. But those boxes aren't big enough, so I need to get a card box to put them all in.
Are all the sleeves color coded?
No.
Oh, you just put them. They're all clear and
They're not. They are clear, and they are matte, so that you get matte on the back, so you get texture when you're holding them, but the front is shiny.
Fair enough.
That was a very difficult purchase, and buying card sleeves, man. Magic the Gathering, just fucking everywhere.
Yeah, of course it is.
Like trying to find the right sleeves.
Same with card boxes. You'll find the same thing.
I just want a box.
A box that fits cards.
I just want a box that fits card, and it's like, oh, this one has leather on it. I don't want that. I just want a box, nice and easy. Pleather's fine. Like, just give me something easy. So yeah, I've decided to sleeve all of those. I haven't even opened the new expansions yet, so I'm going to need to buy some more sleeves already.
Fair enough.
But I think I'm 200 cards in. 200 sleeves. So yeah, 200 cards.
Wow.
It's good fun. Love it. That was a good one to do. I'll talk about the magnets for the Cadians. Movement trays. So, in my 1,000 points...
Such a guard player now.
Do you know what? I'm fully there.
Yeah,
in my 1,000 points, I have 40 shock troopers, 2 squads of 5 command squads, Ursula Creed, a Castellan, who is like a commander, and horses, and everything else is vehicles. Oh, the 2 Sentinels, Rogue Dawn, and yeah. Anyway, so that's like 60 models, 40, 50, something like that, 60 models. So I don't want to have to move 60 models every turn. And
just don't move them.
Well, I want to move them. So, and movement trays annoy me with the lips on them, where you slot the base into it, and they've got like a high bit, and they kind of raise up the troops. Many reasons to hate these kind of movement trays, and MDF movement trays. Not a massive fan of MDF stuff. I get it. It's cheap. It's fit. But if you've got 120 of them, like fucking go for it. Buy MDF way cheaper than what we do. I think Liam printed his. But I found a company called, which I do want to shout out because they are really good. 2 seconds. Hold the line, colour. It's going to be something like mag in the title. Oh, Mini Mag. There we go. Yeah, I told you. Mini Mag trays. I could look the stickers on my computer. Mini Mag trays are metal movement trays. Without a lip. So you use your magnets that you've already got on your bases. There's no lip on it. It's just like a flat piece of metal. And they're spray black. You can't even tell that they're really on there at all. And the magnets are strong enough that to pick them up and move them, you just pick up a model and all of it comes with it.
Fair enough.
Which is great.
How much does it raise your miniatures up?
It doesn't. It's like less than a mil.
That's a thin piece of metal.
It is really thin, and it's really strong, and it looked really good. I can show you the picture I put on Instagram yesterday. That's That's the movement trays in there.
Wow, that's really thin.
They also have this, which I haven't quite figured out why you'd use it yet. A removable tray picker-upper, which has got a magnet on the back,
so you can just push them.
Yeah.
Like a World War I general.
Yeah, I think the idea is you're meant to be able to pick it up, but so some of their trays have it built in.
Yeah.
So a bit of flared bit at the back to make it easy to pick it up, like very similar to like the GW painting brush, the painting handle. Mm-hmm. I didn't really want that because I feel like that breaks my immersion. Yeah. So I ordered. I put them in. It's called the Cloud because they're like the clusters of 5.
Yeah.
You can buy them just straight 10s. Or staggered 10s in 5 groups of 5, and I was like, I'm the amount that they're going to die. I want to just do them in groups of 5. So I ordered like 8 of those, and then 2 movement trays for the command squads. And then Ursula Creed, and the Castellan Creed are just going to be on their own.
They walk around on their own, right?
Yeah. So they do horses ones, but again, it's only 5 models in the horse squad. So I don't see the point in, at the moment, having movement trays for them. I think if looking at the new stuff coming out for Guard, there looks like there's going to be quite a big push on cavalry.
Yeah.
Right. So and you can run squads of 10. So if I end up having like multiple squads of 10, maybe I will movement trade them because it will be easier to move them. Basically, what I don't want to do, and what always irks me as a player against like solo or guard, is that you spend like half the game them just moving shit
just
around.
Doing their movement phase,
So if I can easily just be like, they're there, fine. And with 40k being more like that building you can't go in. It's not like I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to get models in and be able to see out of windows and stuff. I feel like I'm just gonna
it's scary how much movement trays are coming in the sense that this was fantasy kind of thing. You'd have your blocks of infantry and archers and whatever, and they'd be in a movement tray.
I'd consider it if I was doing if I was doing Imperial
going back
Fist,
to like Orc Horde, like 30 boys. I think having them on a movement tray would be quite nice.
But even if I was doing 30k, if I was doing like blob 20-man squads of Marines, like 20-man tack squads, I'd be tempted.
Yeah,
and they do make them for 32 mil, so like you could do 32 mil bases. You could do it that way. It's just again, it's that part of the it's a section of the game which is often like you don't really care about it, but it is really important. I'm keen to see how they affect stuff like in the game, because obviously normally you might want to try and line out your guys to maximize what you're doing. You might try and push them up against a window. So if
there's one squad that you want to do that, you just pop it off the movement tray,
and it is really easy to do that. So we'll see. But I'm excited about them. I think they're really good. I also bought a crap ton of paint again for the Carcass Kids.
I'm going to need to do this for the models. Death Guard. I've got like none of the colours that I need. I'm like, man, this is like 60 quid worth of paint that I've just got to drop.
And pre-order goes live in 40 minutes, so we'll see if that gets added to the list.
What pre-order? All the guard stuff.
Just the Death Corps of Creed box with the codex.
I don't know, but
you can edit all that silence out and just have that bit. Just be like, what's going on?
So there was into now pegging.
Move on to what we've been working on.
Yep,
sure. Yeah.
So after, I imagine the purchases. Well, Sam's will always be long because he's got a problem, as we've discovered.
It's not a problem.
He has a problem.
I was just a very fortunate thing.
That's very true as well. Yeah. Models worked on. I'll just jump in because my voice is okay right this second. I built the 20 tech thralls and my first 5 assault marines.
Cool.
All with plastic glue.
Nice. Well done.
What's happened to the real Matthew?
Did it?
Well, so I ran out of super glue. I ran out of super glue and I was like, I have this pot. It's never going to get used. So why the hell? I might as well use it. It's fine. Genuinely, absolutely fine. The thing I have noticed, mainly with the assault marines, because I was doing a lot of kit bash stuff.
Yeah,
it's awful for doing that.
Why?
Because it takes so long to hold in position.
Right. I don't know what you're doing here because it doesn't take that long.
No, yeah, but so if you want to build, I'm turning power swords into power lances. Right. So you've got your power sword to the hand.
Yeah.
Then you're cutting off the bottom end.
Yep.
Then you're adding a shaft. Sometimes in 2 pieces to make it long enough to be a lance.
Yeah.
So a bit of plastic glue on the bottom of the hand. On goes your first bit.
Ah, right.
And then you've got to wait like 20 minutes till that's solid.
Just on the hand.
So here's where you've gone wrong. Here's where you need to add extra glue.
On
so you put
both sides.
Yeah.
I am doing that.
You let it then. You let it work before you attach it.
Yeah.
You then put another blob of glue on, and it will stick.
Yeah. No, it's sticking fine, but that piece will be movable for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Super glue, 10 seconds, done. And then I can add the next bit.
Yeah.
So for kit bashing,
the difference is
so much quicker.
The difference is though, after that 5 minutes, that bit will not be removable.
Yeah.
Whereas super glue,
I'm not arguing which one's better. I'm just saying that's the thing I've noticed.
Fair enough.
Like, it was taking me longer to do those things.
There is no activator.
No. Can you get the super fast one? Do they do super fast?
They do. Tamiya do a super drying, super fast thing. Mike was talking about it.
Okay.
Super quick,
Not
I can't remember what it's called.
Not aware. I'm aware of an extra thin, which is what we've got.
Yeah. No, apparently they do that, but it's called a super dry or super quick or I don't know.
Sam,
we were talking about it on one of the hangouts, but that's the only thing. Like building the tech thralls, absolutely fine.
Yep.
Putting the standard backpacks together, absolutely fine. Like it's plastic glue. It works on plastic. Great.
Extra thin.
Yep.
Is the quick set one, whereas we have extra thin. No.
Yeah, we've all got. We should all have the green top.
Anyway. From like trying to kit bash, building weapons, bits like that, super glue is just that much quicker.
Okay.
Again, we can argue, bits will snap off potentially easier because it's super glue rather than melted together like plastic glue.
Yeah,
But that was the only, for me, because I'm used to just building with super glue, that was frustrating. Because I was like, right, I want to add the next bit. Well, I can't yet.
No, fair enough.
I found arms move like, within 5 minutes you can still move stuff around, which is longer than super glue. Which is all my point. Is not that super glue is better or anything. It's just that's something I had to work with.
Fair
I hadn't. Because normally 30 seconds and that arm isn't moving unless you really want to forcibly snap it off.
Yeah. It's like a.
It's just different.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a learning curve, I guess. Like I didn't have any issues, but it was just different. But yeah,
fair enough.
So I mean, I'll use it because I've got it, and what I need to do is I need some super glue because for things like that I would have got out the super glue.
Yeah. It's the tools, isn't it? It's a hobby tool.
Yeah.
There was also one that I had half of I think it was a staff or something that I wanted to use for the shaft. Keep using that word, but it was resin.
Right.
So I was like, well, I can't use that, so I'll just have to wait till I've got some super glue to use that.
I might have some if you want a pot.
Yeah, but so that's the only thing. I think having both would be more beneficial.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But
okay,
it was interesting. Start of a new year using some new glue.
What have you done, Neil?
So a little bit more than I've actually written down.
Oh, nice.
So I've still been working on this Imperial Assault models for the guy at work.
Okay.
I kind of started them and then just put them to one side because the mojo wasn't there and I didn't want to just try and paint them and wreck them because obviously they're not mine.
No.
So I've pretty much finished Obi-Wan to the tabletop standard that he wants. I've just got to paint the base Eshin Grey because for some reason he's picked Eshin Grey as the base colour as opposed to Abaddon Black. It looks a little bit weird, but whatever.
Yeah,
whatever works.
Not your models.
All I need to do on the boarding troopers, which have got shields and batons, is put the black details on the armour, and then they're good to go because the shield's been painted grey, it's been washed, or it's been painted metallic wise, dry brushed a little bit, and I started painting the 4 combat droids that come in it. So they were sprayed black and then dry brushed with lead belcher and then washed with a mix of Nuln Oil and Agrex Earthshade 3 times just to bring the colour back down. And then
Dirty.
And then a little bit of dry brushing on top of that, and then they just need the eyes painted red and the base painted Eshin grey, and then I've got all the others to do still. And then does 3D printing count here?
Yes, it does.
Yes, there's things you've worked on, you're working towards printing and using, I don't know.
So I've printed off 2 Vallejo paint racks for the Scotty board. I've printed off 2 Citadel paint holders. So far they hold 6 paints each on those ones. The Vallejo ones hold 15, I think.
Wow.
But obviously they're a lot
taller and thinner, aren't they?
Yeah. And then I've in the process of printing another 3 of these Citadel ones, but the app has informed me that I've run out of plastic. So when I get home, I just need to change over the reels and continue the print.
If you had more reels, would it automatically?
No, I'd need to get.
You need to manually intervene.
I'd need to get an AMS system. And I
Don't give
haven't got
him
one of
ideas.
those.
Well, I guess how long does this happen? How often does this happen?
It depends on whether I've realised I've only got about 20 grams of plastic left or not.
Right.
As I couldn't tell properly, I was just like, whatever.
Could you not just?
I had a look. I looked at it and I was just like,
I'm guessing there are more expensive solutions that will tell you the weight of what you've got left sitting there waiting to go. If not, we should go into the business because that is a fantastic fucking product.
Potentially, yeah. But I mean, it'd be easy with the AMS system. It'd be easier to sort of work out, right? Okay, yes, I can actually look round the side and see. Oh, it's only 1 winding thick or 2 windings thick. Right, that's not a lot of plastic there.
Yeah.
Because the reel that I've just put into the dryer this morning has actually got thicknesses, and that works out rough. It gives you a rough estimate of how much plastic's there.
Yeah.
So it's got like lines for 100, 200, 300, etc., up to the kilo's worth.
Yeah.
That's on a reel. So, but with my print filament dryer, you can't see properly. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
So many ideas.
Indeed.
Go into product design. That'd be fun. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Right. So what have I been working on? So I can't remember if we talked about it last episode about doing an hour a night but spread over.
No. We talked about that on the Hangout.
Okay. So basically, I really struggle. Well, sorry, I was really good last year at doing like 1 hour a day on my lunch breaks of painting, but weekends would always ruin it for like hobby streaks and stuff. So I've decided to stack all that off and to instead try and do 7 hours a week of painting. And it's going well so far. Like I've got an app that I track what I've painted, what I've got left to paint, build, etc. And then you can do a timer in it as well. It's called Brush Rage. Very basic. I say basic. It's as complicated as you want to make it, right? It's a very basic app. So far, I have done 2 weeks worth of time because we're recording early in February, January. I've did 8.5 hours in week 1, and this week I've done 8.25 hours worth of building, painting, etc. I'm over it. Challenges with it. Sometimes I forget to stop it.
Yep.
And sometimes I forget to start it. But you can go in and manually adjust it. So I know like, I'm doing it on my lunch break. I know it's an hour-ish long. So I know I can just I'll stop it. I'll just set it back to like I only done it for an hour or something like that.
Fair enough.
Try to be. It's not an exact thing. I don't need it to be exact. It's mainly just to track and try and paint more than what I'm doing and using it as a motivational tool. But so far I have what have I done? So far I have built 10 Cadian shock troops. I built 5 command squads, a 5-man command squad. I built a Sentinel model. I have painted. I can't remember how many I painted or how many I started with, but I now have 2 10-man Cadian shock trooper squads. So 20 of those are done. So just 20 left to go. I have painted the Christmas. Sorry for background noise. I painted our Christmas swap models. So we on the Discord we did like a Christmas Secret Santa swap thing for models. So I ended up having Alan. I painted up the Orc banned from
was it Cromlech?
Cromlech, there we go. Thank you very much. From Cromlech, mainly because Alan is super into music, and I don't really think he's playing much much games at the moment. So I thought actually doing those would be kind of cool. He has another Orc rocker that someone 3D printed for him, and a Squig amplifier.
Yep.
So he's going to, I think he has already got painted. So he's going to build a stage for it all to live on.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Or do something with a stage for it all to live on. So that's quite cool. It was the only time I think where I've done stuff like that where I've kind of gone, I don't really want to give these away. And there was a moment where I was like, is there anything else I could send him and pretend this was what I was going to do? So it's sad, but they were really cool. I took some photos. It's fine.
Happy days.
I'm not sad. And then I got a Ambot for Necromunda.
Yeah,
you did, yeah.
For my Palatine Enforcer, or my Bad Zone Enforcers, to run with those, which is cool. I painted however many to get me to those 20-man Cadian squads. I have also painted a Sentinel in the last since last time.
Cool.
I've also airbrushed all of the base colours for everything in the 1,000 points bar the Rogal Dawn now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Cool.
And the guns. Shit, they're at the back of the case. Fuck. Okay. So I need to do that, but that's fine. Okay, they'll be the same colour as the Rogal Dawn.
Oh, I just remembered a purchase. I bought some primer for my airbrush.
Nice.
Well done.
So
Is
I
it
can
right?
now base coat. Yes, it came yesterday.
Have you used it?
No, it came yesterday.
Which primer did you buy?
I'm now here.
But
Came
you had,
at like
you had
9
yesterday.
PM. It came like the end of the day.
Brilliant. You had like 6 hours between
No.
them.
Cool. This is great. But what primer is it?
Vallejo.
Well done.
It doesn't
Well
matter.
Yeah.
Well done.
Vallejo black.
Cool.
I believe. Just
Well done.
straight black.
Cool.
Not glossy.
Not glossy. Good.
Yeah, so everything now is their right colours. I'm planning on doing the horses. I'm planning on doing some slap chop. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm planning on. I've done the dark grey underneath and the light grey on top. Sorry, light grey on top. I'm gonna do a white dry brush on top, and then I'm gonna colour. It's not gonna be like full slap chop. It's airbrushed and then with a little bit
Yeah.
more. Kind of like how I did my my Votan.
Cool.
Rather than it being like full
Sam
on.
chop.
Exactly. So the horses are going to be various, like a black, brown, horsey colours, that kind of thing. So I thought I
Pinto,
wanted to
a dapple.
Yeah, sure, that's a word. So lots of painting. I painted the Sentinel because I'd finished the 20-man squad, so I wanted to reward myself by not painting
Another 20 men.
another 20-man squad. But now I've painted the Sentinel. I feel
Back
I want
to
go
20 men.
to 20-man, which is fine. I might paint. So I was painting them in groups of 5.
Yeah.
I might increase it to 10
Ooh.
and do squads of 10
Ooh.
because I think the steps that I do it in, I could do it in 10s and it not be too much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh, well, certainly try it with the first 10. If it goes awfully, you just go back to 5 for the last 10.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be okay.
When is your game?
7th of February.
Okay, so you got like
2 weeks.
3 or 4, right?
Where are we? Oh yeah,
It's only the 11th.
1, 2, 3. I have 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I'm away this weekend. Next weekend though. So I have 4 weeks, and the Sentinel I painted in like an hour and a half. Sentinel I painted in an hour and a half. The guns could be painted in like an hour and a half, like if that, because they're guns. The Rogal Dawn probably the same, because it's going to be painted the exact same way as Sentinel, and then the last Sentinel. The thing that's going to take the most time is the horses, the command squad. I want to spend a bit more time on the command squads and paint them nice. And then Ursula Creed, I want to spend some time on her. So really, ideally, if I can smash out 10 Cadians next week, 10 Cadians the week after, I think I can paint the Rogal Dawn, Sentinel, guns in 1 week.
But then you've only got a week for 2 command squads and Ursula Creed.
It's going to be really fucking tight.
To get them to the level you want to probably have them at.
Good luck.
But I said I would do it.
14 hours a week rather than 7 hours a week.
Good luck.
I said I would do it. I said I would do it. It's basically, I think, an hour per shock trooper.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm averaging at the moment. So
20 hours.
Need to
Just do the next two weeks in like 10-hour weeks, and they're done.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Anyway, I said I would do it, and I'm harassing Liam enough to
Liam will get it done.
to do his. Well, he hasn't got as much. I thought he'd had loads. He doesn't have that much, but
he's painting to 1,000 points rather than like 1,000 points.
I thought I had more painted when I said it.
No.
Like, I swear. Then I was like, oh, actually, I've only got. I think
like 2 models at that point.
I think I started seven painted, so I've done 13 in 2 weeks. That's not great. That's not enough.
It's not quick enough.
No. 10. Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. That's future tense. You'll find out next time we record. You'll know. It'll be if I did it or not. So we'll talk about that. That's all I've worked on. So I guess we'll move on to next bits. Other media discussions.
Yes. Well, the only thing I have is I started following. They're called SKS Hobby Workshop on Instagram, and they're doing a trench warfare board at the moment. And it has me itching to give another go at doing a ZM board with a bit of a twist, because they've got some like collapsed sections of the trenches where you can get up on the top.
Yeah.
I was like, that could be kind of interesting, having these sections. And you'd have to go to their Instagram to kind of work out what I'm talking about. But sections where you could actually walk up and over.
Yeah, the walls collapsed basically and created a slope. Yeah.
So that'd be kind of interesting, having like a ZM type board where you can actually, in certain points, go up over the top. I think could be quite fun. And I don't know. I think because I'm in scenery building mode in my mind, because I want to do my kill team board, I'm like, what's another board?
SKS Hobby Workshop.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you sent me these, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I might have done. But yeah, I've got a few saved of certain like sections. So
they're a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, cool.
So they're recording how they're doing it on all there. It might be worth watching.
Yeah.
I'll follow along.
But yeah, so I'm tempted. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But it looks pretty cool. Like working with the polystyrene and stuff's quite fun. So it's like, ooh, that could be interesting. I just need to work out how because I'd want it to look a bit more like 40k.
Yep.
Rather than like kind of World War One trench.
Yep.
So
that's the hard. You say that.
Like, it works. It totally works in the setting, but I don't want that look.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's more my point.
Yeah.
So yeah, like like the wood and the corrugated metal, I want it a bit more
like rockcrete and.
Yeah.
You could use is bastion walls.
Yeah.
As like the bit that's holding back. I've got loads of those. You can have those.
Yeah. Things like that. But yeah, I've got to work it out and think, am I actually really going to do this? But it has triggered that idea.
Could be a good kill team board.
Well, I've got one of those planned that I'm going to do. So this is like, I'd probably use it to build a ZM 4x4.
Right. Which
you could use sections to be a kill team board or, you know. But yeah, I think it could be quite fun.
Trench Warfare has a really good social media strategy at the moment. Like, they are fucking everywhere.
They are
like,
everywhere.
Everybody's jumping on that Trench Warfare bandwagon. Like,
yeah, it's becoming a bit more accessible. I think there was a few people who did it and made it look really good.
Yeah.
And so people have taken that and gone, oh, if we 3D print these bits, if we do this, like, and have improved upon it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's grabbed me a little bit.
Yeah. Have you looked at the game? Trench Warfare game yet?
No.
Nope.
No, okay. It looks okay. Ninjon did a bit more of a deeper dive into what the game was, which is good. And then so did Louise Sugden. So she did a deep dive into it, and then basically got called a shill for it.
Really?
She was like, no, it's just really cool. Like, and actually, the world looks really good. And I'm
not that much of a fan of the models. I think they're cool, but like, and they're unique enough. But
they lend themselves to a really like grim, dark kind of painting scheme. Like the ones I've seen have all been in like the new paint set from Vallejo. Is it Vallejo? Just the new paint set for Grimdark from old guy that did Grimdark in 40k.
Blanchett.
Yeah,
Blanchett style,
named after him. But yeah, so I think the models painted right look really cool.
Yeah.
And very kind of like, I'd say alt history kind of style.
Yeah. What's the game where you find the Germans who are making like mutant zombie monster things?
Wolfenstein.
It reminds me of Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
It's the only thing I can think of that would be
close to that. It's Wolfenstein.
Not played it before.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just looking through pictures on Insta spam. It's a no from me.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not my cup of tea.
I think the models are cool, and it's definitely built to kind of catch the 40k hobbyist who goes, oh, that looks a bit like a Space Marine back in trench warfare days and things like that. I don't know, something just slightly off with the models that doesn't gravitate towards me.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them. That was a very, very brief look on them. But from what I could see, it doesn't look like my cup of tea personally. But good luck to them.
Cool. Anything else that we've seen hobby-wise? I mean, if we're calling out Instagram people, there is one. I've been quite in a deep guard hole recently, and there is a fantastic Instagram account called Lead Head Minis, who is an Australian, so it's quite apt, doing catechins.
Nice.
And that he's the one who did the catechin Rough Riders on dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And his tanks are very much how I'd call it realistic, laden with like supplies, catechin sort of style. So lots of like long grasses, fish tank style, like shrubberies in there. And he's done a couple of
a shrubbery.
He's done a couple of like game boards and stuff, and he's that's really good. Like a really, really, really good account to go and follow. Really positive. And I guess Cadian Sergeant Steele again as well. Like really, 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 really positive and really, really fanboying over him. He liked one of my pictures. Did you hear that? He liked one of my pictures. That might be a complete lie.
Fair enough. So I finally watched the Secret Level Warhammer episode.
Oh, good.
Because everyone had been banging on about it. It was just like, I need to watch it before anyone sort of spoils anything with regards to it. So I watched that, and then obviously that was then kind of like, oh damn it.
Be rude not
to get it from CD Keys slightly cheaper than you get it anywhere else.
Oh, what?
So
Space Marine 2?
I may or may not have bought Space Marine 2.
Have you been playing it?
And played it up to a certain point.
Which bit did you get to?
I have gone up a massive cargo elevator and shot a load of gargoyles off the chains.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I'm at the moment.
Okay, cool. I won't read it for you. I feel that when we rehash that 24-hour hobby stream idea, we should play all three of us the campaign.
Yeah, we do need to work that one out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll all play it together.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
As part of it, because that would be like a good 8 hours worth of gameplay.
5 hours at least, yeah.
Yeah.
24-hour stream.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, you can sleep.
We don't all have to be present at the same time. Just we'll have sections where we are.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah. So behind the curtain conversation that just randomly happened. Shall we take a quick break? I think that's everything.
Yeah.
And then come back with our
Operation Kill Team.
Our new segment, yeah.
We need a cool music for it. I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. Alright there, my lover. Sometimes farming is hard work and I need a midweek break. So we started Mike's Midweek Hangouts as a midweek haven from the hustle, bustle and loud noises of the farm. These gatherings are held in Facebook rooms. You can join from the link found either in the Adeptus Terra podcast safe room or found in the Hobby Hangout channel on the Discord.
If you want to get some midweek hobby progress in, why not grab your scrumpy and join Mike on a Wednesday from 8:30. See you there, my lover. Come on now, let's get together.
Hello. Question?
No, it's just sun.
Would you like a hat?
No.
I can offer you a Space Marine helmet.
No. Ooh.
That would keep it. You can breathe in it. I've worn it for a meeting before. What I wanted to do is I wanted to put
microphone.
fairy lights. There we go. That's probably better. I wanted to put fairy lights around the inside so the eyes glow.
Yeah.
I put some fairy lights up there. Just stuck it up there and put the helmet
Way up there.
and turn them on. It blinds you.
Yeah,
The plastic is more shiny inside, so it does kind of glow back into your retinas. But then, who needs to see?
Who needs to see
Who
when you
needs
light
to
the
see?
lights? When you light the eyes up? Yes.
Yeah. So I thought maybe I'd have to put it on the outside, and then
underneath the ridge.
Yeah, just to kind
Maybe.
of light it up. But anyway, hello and welcome back to the new segment, which we are calling something Kill Team, Operation Kill Team.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. I've been watching some Kill Team stuff.
Nice.
To kind of drive myself forwards, and trying to make a panicked. I've changed this like 3 times, and I think I've now managed to pick the best army, which complements me.
Okay.
Very, very
Nice.
well.
Fair enough.
So this segment is going to be throughout season 3. We've basically chosen this year to cover this game system as it's still fairly new to us certainly, and give it a good go over this year. So we're going to have a different topic each episode, just diving into Kill Team as a whole. It might be about our individual kill teams that we're currently working on and playing. Could be about the game system and rules chat. It'll be a varied segment, just all based around Kill Team. So it felt right today as it's the first one, to talk about the Kill Teams we plan to go forward at the start of this, let's call it a journey.
I think what is important here to note is we've not actually played a game of Kill Team yet.
No, completely
a lot
new.
of this is from... I'd say this is more about the army selection process going in blind than actually what we're going with. Because as we kind of play it and evolve it, this list might change.
It's not a hobby challenge either.
No.
Like our lists, our factions, all that stuff can change at any point.
Yeah.
We are just journeying through playing Kill Team and gonna give it a good go. Rather than playing it once and being like, oh, I don't understand it, stop.
Okay.
So that's really it. So this is our teams that we are going in blind, picking what we think, and we'll talk about why we're picking what we're picking a little bit. And just, this is where we're going to start. This is our starting point.
How did you all pick your armies?
I went with my Catachans. They're the ones I'm going to go for. I'm playing them as Death Corps because they're the closest rules.
Yep.
But I'll get into that in a bit. Mainly because I had a bunch of metal Catachan models lying around that I had no plan for. Always loved them, wanted an excuse to use them, was never going to do a force. So this is a way I can kind of use models that I've always wanted to play and paint with and had no plan for. So, it just kind of went, well, I'll do that because it makes sense. How do they fit in the current rule set? So that's how I landed on the Catachans.
And when you were... I'm sorry, I meant more... How did you research into them? Like, did you just go to the app and read the rules?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, I just downloaded the Kill Team app and then went through the different guard element and different kill teams that are there, and then landed on the Death Corps because they are the ones that make the most sense with the models I want to use.
Right.
So it all becomes a bit more clear when we get into lists and things.
Okay. Cool. How did you find the app? Like,
In general, what do you mean?
As in, like,
He looked up on the App Store, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't
no,
realise there was an app.
he probably sent. I probably sent him a link to it.
No. I saw it on the.
But you didn't send me a link.
So when I first started using it, the download was basically you downloaded the PDF, and now they've added a new step in where it separates the PDF into the different segments, and it's now like cards instead of.
Well, I think that was always there.
Well, so for my one, I didn't have that. I just had like a PDF download, and it was all of the rules just in one long PDF. Whereas I've gone this morning when I looked, and maybe it was always there. Maybe I was just viewing it on the computer rather than on the iPad through the website rather than the app. But this morning they've now got it broken down. I noticed they've now got it broken down into the data cards, the selection, the faction rules, equipment.
Yeah, that's how I've always had it.
Oh, really? Cool.
So it's always been that way.
I just wondered whether it was I thought maybe they might have done it to like the newly released ones that have data cards, because some of them on there are the old ones. And I found when I was going through, so I'm doing Inquisition. Let's start there.
Yes.
The reason I'm doing Inquisition is because I actually get to do 2 factions if I do the Inquisition. I get to do Inquisition and then I get to do the Retinue. So you get a Inquisitional Retinue, but you also get to pick from the other box. And the other box includes Krieg, naval breaches, naval
something like
enforcers,
that.
whatever they are, the naval guys, Kazakins, and some other random thing. I don't know what they are. So it means that I get to effectively take 4 because I can do all 3 of them.
You can borrow bits from different ones.
Well, no, you have to pick all of one. You can't take like one breacher, one of these or that.
That's
but
nice.
It means that in my kill team, I could go, for this one, I'm bringing Krieg. For this one, I'm bringing Kazakins. For this one, I'm bringing this, and have options. So really,
sub-factions within one of the smallest game types.
I couldn't decide when I was going through. I couldn't decide between Krieg, because I have Krieg, Orcs, the special Votan guys. I have a set of those as well.
Yeah.
Like, so I have I have quite a few options, and I nearly set on Kazakins and as the one I was going with, but then I found Inquisition,
which you have always been
an Inquisition fanboy.
Yes.
And then I realised I could have Inquisition with Kazakin. And then all of the reviews that I've read basically says, if you want to do Kazakin, do the Inquisition because it's better.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm doing Inquisition. I'm going to base them off of the Carrion Throne
cool.
series, the
Right,
Adeptus Terra series that I've read,
yeah.
and basically have, because you don't get an Inquisitor in it, you get the kind of like trainee with the L plates guy.
Interrogator.
The interrogator. So you start with an interrogator. You don't get an Inquisitor.
That's kind of
cool. So in the series, basically, the Inquisitor goes missing, and his interrogator has to go find him. So basically, I'm going to do that and use the various characters. The box set is really good, and the models in the box set, chef's kiss, great. But so I'm doing that. So I have picked my faction, and I have picked what's going in there. I've picked it based on some suggestions and reading through and kind of my understanding. I was watching another video this morning which kind of contradicted some of the suggestions that I've been reading. So I need to go back and through. What I'm struggling with Kill Team at the moment is because if you typed in like Inquisition Kill Team, you have to be really careful.
You're not going to get anything.
Yeah, you get quite a lot, but it's the old stuff and the old rules.
Yeah.
So the old rules were a bit different and very different. So I have to be very careful with like finding resources that are within like the last 6 months it's been out.
Yeah.
So that's been a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. In contrast, I've done none of that.
Have you not?
I'm literally so blind.
Wow.
I've just used the app to build my list, and that's what I'm bringing because they're the models that I have.
I think the difficulty is because I don't know what any of the stuff does on their character sheets.
That's it. Yeah, I have no idea if I've got a good kill team at all. But these are the models that I have, and this is where I'm starting.
Yeah.
And if I love the game type, I'll dive in. But at the moment, I'm like, well, this is an opportunity.
You're not going to do anything stupid and be like, I'm only going to play them fully painted, are you?
No, God, no.
Okay, good, cool.
No.
So in theory, we could have a game in the before the next. Oh, okay, sorry.
Don't worry.
Do I need to tell you what I've got in my list?
Yeah, well, we'll do that, but Neil still needs to share what he's planning.
I didn't know if it was
with.
now. I didn't know if you did yours.
No, well, you kind of gone on this kind of like, what are you bringing?
What are you bringing, Neil?
So we might as well do that now.
Well, I'm really fucking thankful you didn't actually buy the starter box set
Yes.
Nice.
because
Yeah, 'cause you were thinking of the batwing creature. What Vespids?
Batwing.
They do look like bat wings.
The good thing now though is you can. The only reason I wanted that set was for the tokens, for the book, and for the terrain.
Yeah.
I couldn't really give a shit about the models. But you can now buy the terrain in its own box.
Yes,
so,
which was a clever move.
Yeah. So I think it's. I think it was a good idea not to buy it.
Yeah.
Save myself 145 quid that I'm about to spend on something else.
Yeah, I originally saved myself £42 or whatever it is on not buying a box because I've got the Kroot,
the big box.
the Fast Stalker. No, not the Fast Stalker. The Kroot Hunting Pack box.
Cool. Do you need more? Because I have 20.
I don't know. I don't need any more Kroot.
It's Kill Team.
It's
You
a kill-
understand? It's
I-
12 models.
I have
Yeah.
I have models. I just don't necessarily have the right models.
I think all of mine are the ones with Kroot guns.
Kit
Yeah.
Bash potential.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'm going to buy my way out of this.
Yeah,
You are 100%, and probably he will too.
3D
Yes.
print
Please.
myself out of this.
No.
Please, just give me him. I'll do it.
It was basically a toss up between right. What armies have I got? Do I really want to do this? Was
What-
the other thing.
What
Yeah.
box you taking, sorry?
So I am taking Kroot.
And you're taking them from you said that hunting pack.
I've got the hunting pack box.
Okay. I
So-
just need to look at it in my
Yeah, it's all the specialists because they've got things that you don't find in the Kroot box.
Yeah,
because
there's
they're all
they're
got
not
rifles.
They're not in the Kroot Carnival box.
Yeah, that's just some wrist swaps and fun.
Well,
weapon,
it's not even.
Weapon
It's not even that.
changes.
It's trying to. It's. So it's things like the heavy that doesn't exist anywhere else, other than that Fast Stalker.
Yeah, it's
Fast Stalker Kimband
Yeah.
box.
You say that, but you can buy some of them separately. No, Flesh Shapers.
Yeah, no, they're
A War
different.
Shaper. Oh,
they're
sorry.
different models.
You could take a Lone Spear for your heavy. He's riding a Salamander.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, so yeah, I basically went through all the factions that I have in the big pile of shame
Yeah,
to work out what I wanted to do. I thought I don't really want to do Necrons, even though they're all painted.
apparently broken in Kill Team, by the way.
Yeah, you should have done Necrons.
Unbelievably strong.
Yeah, you should have done Necrons.
So I'm doing Necrons for Kill Team.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm not doing Necrons for Kill Team. So yeah, basically decided, well, I might as well get a use out of this box of Kroot somehow.
Yeah.
So, cool question. You said the hunting pack. Is that the starter set for Tau?
No.
That one there?
Oh yeah, got that one. Yeah.
It is that one?
Yeah, because it comes with that one came with the codex and the cards.
Yeah,
In
it comes
special
with a
box.
Crutox in it.
There'll be use the Crutox as your heavy. There's a dude. Look, he's got a big gun. You can
Yeah,
use
no,
him.
it's not the same.
Oh right, yeah. You're going for like accuracy.
Oh, of course.
It's Kroot. No one's going to know.
Yeah, no, I know you're
that's
not going to
very
know.
Or use a Tau weapon. Just pretend he's been given a Tau weapon.
That'd be
But
kind of
it's
cool.
not the right shape. It's not the right thing. And yeah, obviously, same with Sam. When you were talking about the data cards and all this bollocks, I just downloaded the PDF.
Yeah.
And so
Have you printed the PDF?
Oh no, paper analog.
paper PDF, and I'm like, I have no.
To be
freaking
fair,
clue.
I would say the app.
The app is 10 times better.
because it just breaks it down for you. The app is slightly better. You got an iPad? Haven't you? Haven't you?
No.
Not anymore. Oh,
Not
okay.
anymore. It was
You can get
ancient.
the pages from the app are on the Warhammer community.
Yeah, but
That's
they come in.
what that is.
But they come in one PDF.
Yeah.
So
That's what that is.
all the app does is it breaks it down easier for you to not be
Yeah.
overwhelmed by all the information, or do what I did and watch a video.
Well, that's generally probably what I'm going to end up doing. But yeah, I picked Kroot because
nice.
fuck everything else.
I feel like Neil was being dragged along on this.
I am
experience,
definitely being
rather
dragged
than-
along with this
But he
experience.
could find that he loves it.
This could be your game. This could be your
Again,
thing.
And it
I am
is
being-
completely like, look, yeah, other than Sam who's, watching videos all day
Sam
long,
Sam
apparently.
instigated this one.
It is very blind, and I'm looking forward to that.
I blame
just
Sam.
going,
Not-
let's just
not-
give it a go.
Not Corax this time. I blame Sam.
I for one, and healthily optimistic that this is going to go well.
I'm hoping it'll be fun. Yeah.
If anything, the Inquisition models will be reused as Cadian, like auxiliary, like assistant people.
Oh, like, yeah. Psychers. And,
Yeah. Like, cause they're all like the
Master of the Fleet.
The Inquisition models, if you've not looked at them, fucking great. Like, they're amazing.
I would say that the Kill Team models, similar to the Necromunda models, it's like they spend that little bit extra in character.
Yeah.
And they just, because they're not a rank and file man, and, like some of the Orc ones are unbelievable.
Do you want them? I've got 10.
Possibly.
If you, they're genuinely,
very possibly.
They're painted as well.
Oh.
So, not
that's
well.
exciting.
But this is, again, if Kill Team, I feel like with Kill Team, if you kind of understand how the game works, then actually swapping in Kill Teams, it would be easy.
Yeah.
So all of these ones, like random, like 10 model sets that I've got. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might try and look at what models I already have to see if I could repurpose those into the Kill Team.
Yeah.
The easy option is just to buy the 30 quid box, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think my thing about Kill Team is, again, I'm hoping that it's a little bit more forgiving to your army list selection.
Yep.
Because it's so open.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like, well, if you don't bring this, you're going to have a bad time. Like, I hope it's not like that.
Yeah.
Because, well, like I say, my list really is about this is what I have.
Yeah.
And I can see this guy can be a sapper because he's about to throw a grenade. And,
Yeah.
I'm like using monopose metal models.
Yeah.
That are easy to distinguish as well. That's the other thing. So, like, my veteran is... my bruiser is a guy who's got, like, the bayonet on the las rifle and he's, like, charging forward.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's a bruiser.
Yep.
Whereas technically his weapon, because I'm using Deathcall Krieg, is a, like, trench spade. But
which they do,
cares?
because the 40 ones that I've got, I think 20 of them are the 2 Kill Team boxes.
Yeah.
And they do have like a guy with a spade.
Yeah.
So
they
again,
are very
I could do Krieg as well.
Yeah.
Got so many possibilities.
No. But yeah, shall we go through lists?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
not that much of it's going to make any sense.
No,
it really isn't.
And honestly, like, that we can sit and talk about them. So I built my list a little while ago. I've looked at it a few times. It's based partly on models that I have and want to use,
right,
and partly due to, like, the options I had available. So I've got a Watchmaster, because that's what the Krieg guy leader is called.
Okay.
And I'm using my Marbo event model.
Yep.
Because he can have, like, a...
I feel like your list is built more around cool models over what they do.
So yeah, I think he can have, like, an Archaeotech pistol or, like, a Hotshot Las pistol or something, and like a power sword. So it's like that fits Marbo's equipment pretty well. Then you get the trooper selection, which are like the standard for the Death Corps and for me, Catachans. So you can take up to 4, but you can trade them in to get ploys for free. So I've got 2 troopers, and then I've traded 2 men away to give me 2 ploys that cost 0 CP. Whether that's a wise move or not, I have no idea. But that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
Because I had the option, so I thought, well, I'll play around with that. And then you get all the specialists, which, other than you can add another 2 troopers, which I've done.
Yeah.
It's all, like, unique. You can have one of this, one of this, one of this.
So how many, in addition to the Watchmaster, how many troops can you have in total?
Like basic troopers?
No, just, how many choices do you get? Like, for instance, in mine it's the Kill Broker, which is the HQ, and then 11 other miniatures.
Yeah, similar number. Without opening the app on my phone.
I will look now.
I believe it's similar. Like, there's 10, 12. Because there's a couple in there that I haven't used that I just didn't either have or want to use.
The only thing I would say, right, is the bit that throws me off about it is some... Oh, let's do that. Some kill teams have, like, names. So, like, the Void Woken or whatever.
Yeah.
And then some don't have names. Sorry, I'll fix it. And then some don't have names. So, like, the Death Corps of Krieg one is called Death Corps, right? Really, really easy.
Yeah.
You have the any ideas what the Exaction Squad does?
It extracts people.
Yeah, no.
That's the
Arbites.
That's the Arbites.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the Felagor Ravers.
Oh, they are Chaos
They're the Beastmen.
Beastmen. Yeah. So it's some of the names aren't exactly clear.
Yeah. But that's because though they're associated to a box.
Yeah.
Very similar to this is how I see Necromunda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a bit more of a 40k.
Yeah.
Well, I say a bit more 40k. 40k. Selection for you. You can have one Watchmaster. You can have 9 Death Corps of Krieg operatives selected from the list. So yes, you can have the same one up to 4 times.
The troops.
The troops. Yeah.
So I've got 2, and then I've traded 2 away. So my specialist, I've got a Confidant, which is like Sergeant, so bolt, pistol, chainsword. Bruiser, Gunner, who's a flamer.
Yep.
Gunner, who's a melter gun. A Sapper,
Yep.
who I'm guessing blows stuff up. A Sniper,
Yep.
a Veteran, and a Zealot.
Cool. So cool.
So that's my list.
Go ahead, Neil.
3, 4.
I think I do need to take a trooper out.
Yeah. If again, without looking at it, I have no idea how many you're supposed to have. But if it's
Another trooper, there we go. 'Cause I had 2 extra troopers, but I think that took me to 10. So
Yours is the Farstalker Kinbad.
mine is the Farstalker Kinband.
See, makes complete sense.
Yes. So that comes with a Kill Broker as the leader, and then
Is this because they're mercenaries?
yeah, I guess for hire, I guess.
Probably, I don't know. I really haven't looked into it very much. And then I've got a choice of 11. Fill up 11 slots with the following. So we've got Bow Hunter, who comes with a bow. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, really.
Not just a crossbow though. They're like
A proper.
fucking
It's like
nuts. bow.
it's like
Fortunately-
Chewie's crossbow.
Yeah.
No.
No,
This
it is a bow.
It's a
It is
proper
a bow.
bow. It's sort of like think Rambo Cold Blood
Yeah.
But
Part
technical.
2 with a bow. But there is a model in the box that I can actually create that will cover that one.
Is it Chewy?
No, it's not true.
Right. Okay.
You've then got the Cold Blood. I don't know if it's Sniper, maybe. Oh no, it can't be the Sniper.
Hang on. That's the long sight. Not Tracker, Broker, Hunter, Blood, Cold Blood. He's got a crude rifle and a blade. He's hardy. He looks like he's
probably the stealthy one out of a lot of them.
He's got a cloak on him, so that rings a bell.
Yeah. So we've got then we've got the Cut Skin is the guy with the 2 knives.
Yeah, he looks
Nice,
nuts.
yeah.
He's got like a skin
Again,
mask on
I
his
think
face.
I can probably make that from in the box.
I think you have
Yeah,
one in the box. Yeah.
So that kind of covers 2 of them.
Nice.
You've got the long sight, which is the Sniper.
Easy.
You've got a Pistolier, so there is a model that's got a pistol in the hunting pack box.
Yeah.
So that covers that one. You've got the Stalker, and then you've got the Tracker.
The Stalker looks to also have knives. He has a scatter gun, which is a shotgun.
Yeah.
Which,
I think I'll probably be able to find
and
one
a
of those.
knife. And then what was the other one, sorry?
The Tracker, he's basically got a Cruit rifle, and he's got a bird that tracks things.
Tracker. Oh, yeah. He looks like he's got a moustache. He hasn't. He's got a bird beak. But
So that's I can have one each of those.
yes, you can have one each of those. And then you can have...
I can have one heavy. So I've gone for the heavy with the Londaxi Tribalest
Right.
Ooh.
as a I don't know, and then I can have so that's 8, and then I can have
Do you want to know what the Tribalest does?
it shoots shit.
It's got 5 attacks, 4+ to hit, 4 to 5 damage. Heavy reposition only,
Again,
piercing 1 and rending.
I don't know
what the
any of this-
repositioning. I don't know what the damage is, but we'll figure that out.
I have no idea what any of this means.
Yeah.
The Skinner
It's part
one,
of the fun.
The Skinner one looked quite cool. 5 attacks, a 2 up to hit, which with your rolls might be worth it. Less damage and only has a range of 6. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I was kind of like, meh.
But it has torrent 2 inches.
A longer
technically,
range would be cool.
Yeah.
And then it's basically filling out the rest of it with either warriors or hounds, which I don't own hounds.
So you can have 2 hounds
Yep.
if you want, and then
a warrior.
A warrior. So you can, in yours, your restrictions are basically you can only include a named person or the named person in quotes once, but then you can fill the rest of it out with warriors and hounds.
So I've gone for 2 hounds, so I need to acquire some hounds.
Which you can buy separately.
And a warrior with a scattergun as opposed to a rifle. Because, maybe stick him with somebody that needs to be nice and close.
Which there must be someone in your...
It probably is, I don't know.
Yeah. There must be someone with that kind of thing in your...
saw off the rifle and make it a sawn-off rifle. Now a scattergun.
But that's
like, that's the fun of this, Like my bruiser, technically, because it's death corpse, he's supposed to have a trench spade. Well, all I've done is made sure he's the only one with a bayonet at the end of his rifle, so it's very easy to know he's the bruiser.
Yeah,
and I'll use the trench spade, like, what's it called, stat line.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
It's just
Croot hounds, right?
Yeah.
They have something called a gather, which is 1 action point, which you can perform a free dash or reposition action, so movement. During the move, you can also then perform a free pickup marker or place marker. So in theory, you could have him
just pick up shit
and run away with it.
like a dog.
You're like a dog.
Fetch the objective.
Fantastic. So we should be doing stupid shenanigans.
That sounds great.
And it has I was watching the video this morning, bad tempered. So whenever an operative performs a fight action, if the option is valid, you can force them to fight against the Croot hound.
Yes.
Rather than the other one. So definitely bodyguard units.
Yeah.
Effectively to keep your big things alive. Nah, cool. That sounds fun.
So painting's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think that's yeah.
Sam.
Cool. So I have done extensive.
Where's my mouse gone?
There it is. I've done extensive research.
Yeah.
By which I've watched 2 videos, one of which was for the last edition of Kill Team, so it didn't help me in the slightest. Actually, it did. A lot of the rules have stayed the same. They've kind of made it a bit better in some places and a bit worse in others. I'm just trying to... Do you know what? I'll do it the other way around.
Is there somewhere that you would recommend that I could go and watch a video to actually understand what on earth is going on?
For your faction or for the game?
In general.
For the faction, I've got a video. And then for in general, there is one. I would say it's probably better... Because we're doing the light rules, we're not doing the main rules. It would probably be better for us just to all get together and play it and just do a round and do a couple of rounds and see how we go. Than it would be to learn that way.
Okay.
It's up to you. I can send you the video anyway, but the light rules are what we're going to play for a while.
We'll talk in the break.
Okay, cool. So I have picked an interrogator with a power knife. Mm-hmm. So interrogators are fun. They're basically like they are my leader, and they there we go. They get to do all leader kind of shit. They get the main thing. You can either get denunciation or sanctification. Sanctification allows any operative within 2 inches of a friendly operative. With this rule, you subtract 1 from an attack stat of that enemy operative's weapon. So it basically makes it easier to fire shots. So attacks is Anyway, it's pretty good. That's what the videos tell me. And then you can also have a tomb skull, which effectively is a servo skull that's carrying around. Tome skull carrying around a big book. Who can do basically the same. His main thing is to do the same thing as that and to basically provide like.
So it's just a buff.
Yeah, effectively he provides that same thing, but he also can float around and just do random shit. And do the same thing to like the Croot hounds, where he can go and like activate stuff and run away. You get like you can't perform charge, dash, fallbacks, or repositions like the ones that reactions to what people are doing. And you cannot retaliate or assist in a fight. So you basically just a floating head that sort of just goes around and does stuff. But you can.
He's a buff bot.
You put him near things effectively to do good stuff. I've got a mystic in there. So effectively a psycho. who doesn't really have a lot of weapons, but what he does is he obviously has psychic, so he has guidance and protection, which are exactly how they sound. Oh, that's gone dark all of a sudden. There we go. Guidance or protection, which sounds same thing. It's basically like you can retain one fail as a normal success instead of discarding it. You can in protection or guidance is you can re-roll attack dice, that kind of stuff. So more of a buff than anything else. I've got a pistolier because who doesn't love being able to shoot lots of
Wild
things.
West, just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool, and looking into what he can do, I thought it was quite cool. You can have he has a scoped plasma pistol. And a suppressed auto
That's
pistol.
pretty cool.
So and he gets to perform 2 free shooting actions.
Oh, he's like Moritat.
Effectively, he's a Moritat. You have to select whether it's going to be scoped for one of them and the suppressed for the other, or anyway. What else? I've got a servitor, a gun servitor. Most people take them with multi-melters, like it's meant to be like the way to take them.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to take with a plasma cannon because I think that would be cooler.
Just fun.
Than the melty gun. Like, looking at the stats is way better. Like 4 up to hit, 6 to 3 damage, devastating 4, piercing 2. Makes complete sense versus a plasma, which is a blast 2 inches, heavy, piercing 1. Like stats wise, a melter gun makes sense, but plasma's plasma.
Plasma's plasma.
Exactly. And then I've got a Death World veteran who is a nuts boy where was a Death World veteran. He has a pole arm, so a giant sword on the end of a long stick, which does like quite a number of attacks. So 4 attacks, attack through at 4, hit 3 plus, 4 to 5 damage. He also has the special rule called Weathered, which once per turning point, when this operative is fighting or retaliating, in the resolve attack die step, you could ignore damage inflicted on it from normal successes. Basically, just ignore wounds, and then you get to perform a charge out of the charge phase. So he's just a bit gun-ho, which is quite cool.
Cool.
And then finally, the Enlighten Agents, which is basically a dual knife wielding guy.
Oh, okay.
So he has got a gun, but that's no fun. He's got paired blades, which he uses to extract information from people, and you gain 1 command point per phase for him just being there when he's near an incapacitated operative.
Oh, so you're like torturing.
Effectively, yeah.
Kind of.
So whenever an enemy operative is incapacitated within this operative's control range, you gain 1 command point. So basically, you can use him as a farm. Get someone incapacitated. Yeah. He stands over them and just slowly pushes his knives.
You got to deal with that guy before he then just builds up your command points.
Yeah, he also can prevent people from falling back. So nice. if they're in. If you wound them, then basically you just keep them from running away, and you basically have to force them to roll to run away higher. Yeah. So quite fun. And then I get to some support options. So my support options allow me to take, as I said in before, I can take Death Corps, a Krieg, an Extraction Squad, an Imperial Navy Breacher Squad, a Kazakhstan Squad, Sister of Silence, or Tempestus Scions. So I shall take all of them.
Over the time.
But the start off will be my Kazakhans, because I have them. They're going to need to be painted for my Arcadians anyway, so I thought it'd be a good way of motivating that. So I'm taking a demo Kazakhin, because who doesn't love an explosive?
That's why I brought a sapper. Yeah. I was like, I want a dude with TNT.
And he's modelled really cool. He's modelled basically like in... the type of armor they wear when they're disarming bombs?
Yeah.
He basically has that.
That's cool.
But like a giant chest plate. Quite good. I'm taking him. I'm taking a medic because, keep people alive. I'm taking a recon sniper guy because of his firepower, basically. The one thing I have noticed is the Inquisition agents lack firepower, as in like heavy output firepower beyond like the servitor and stuff. So that's that. And then I'll be taking a plasma gunner and a melter gunner because why the devil not?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. That's the research I've been doing.
That sounds good.
Excited to take them because they're different, and from what people talk about them online, they are a little bit big brain. You do need to think about the way they play.
It does sound like it, which is a challenge.
It's quite a concern for me. But it'll be interesting.
I feel like I'm just blunt force. Like I was like, I could bring a medic, but I don't really have a medic model, and they have.
If you want one, I've got a Death Corps of Krieg. They come with medic bags.
I know.
You can just have one of them and just paint it up like a hide of an animal or something like that.
Yeah. They also have like the sniper, but you can have a spotter.
Nice.
Who then like buffs the sniper.
Yeah.
But I'm not bringing the spotter because I don't really have a model to represent it.
Again, in the Krieg one, you get like a mini periscope model guy.
And I think if I enjoy it, I'd either do another faction and just paint these guys up because I've always wanted to, because they are like the classic metals.
Yeah.
Or if they do a Kath-Chan kill team
Yep.
with a box and they look really cool, I'll just buy that and replace my metal guys with the new guys.
Or just replace the ones where you
mix in or whatever.
Need the specialty, right?
But
it depends on what the rules are as well. Like they're not going to be the same as Death Corps of Krieg, so you might not have the same.
Exactly, yeah.
But it does seem like most factions have some form of pistol.
There's normally a
Most
sniper
factions have
type guy,
yeah.
a combat guy, a couple of gunners,
All in all, I think I'm quite excited for this to try it. And even if after, you know what, we try it, say next month or whatever, and we don't like the game system or it's complicated and we think it's a bit too much, then we just move on, do something else.
Yeah, and I think the idea is to just play around with it and just kind of, again, go in just completely new. Bit like how we approach 10th edition very similarly. You know, when we decided, right, we're going to do this and we're going to do the 1,000 points, other than I think you had played quite like a few tester games, it was completely new. And we had to get our heads around it. And, you know, I still probably haven't even played 10 games of 10th edition.
We also forced Neil to do that as well.
We did.
Yep.
It's like, well, we do force him not to leave. That's the whole thing. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I am genuinely looking forward to just trying it out and seeing. I've always loved the skirmish type stuff. It's got a lot of character. I want to spend some time, if we get into it, to write a bit of a name for each guy, a bit of a backstory. How did this team come together?
Yeah.
Like, and try and like stretch my kind of lore writing thing. Like for me, that's something I want to try and do as well.
Nice.
Mine will be Cruit 1, Cruit 2, Cruit 3, Cruit
well, that kind of fits
5.
their nature as well, to be
Rufus. Rufus needs to be one of them.
No.
Yeah, I guess I kind of keep thinking of like Gaunt Ghosts. You know, you get all these characters with,
Got those.
but you get all their characters and they've got their specialisms and their little ticks. And like, if I could write something much more simplified, of course, but like that, it would be really cool.
They'd be quite good to take. I don't think you'd get enough models.
No, that's true.
You'd have to take like random, get like standard.
Add extra guardsmen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, that's our first segment of Operation Kill Team. Hope you found that interesting. We kind of picking and choosing what we're going to cover month to month, depending on how we're feeling and what we need to do. Just I guess you'll have to wait for next month and we'll all know what we're talking about, hopefully.
I think in the next month, if you're listening and it's something you're interested in, have a look at the Kill Team rules, have a look at we're only going to be playing the light stuff at the start, so price point is basically zero, apart from if you already have some of these models, etc. So have a look at the rules, have a look at your faction, what you'd want to play, and let us know in the Discord how you get on.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Take a quick break, come back with our spotlight.
Yes.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Neil, and you may remember me from such things as Who's Neil? My dog ate my hobby project, and Tau, fish or friend. I'm here to tell you about our Element Games affiliate program. So as you may know, running the podcast does incur some costs. Hosting and equipment are just two examples of this. To help with these running costs, we have signed up to the Element Games Wargaming Web Store affiliation program. This is where Element Games provide us with unique links to their web store, and if you use our links, then we get a percentage of what you spend, big or small, to help run and improve the podcast. The links take you to Element Games homepage or straight to the 40k products category. Simply shop from there. You can find these links in our featured posts on the Facebook Community Safe Room, on our Discord channel, and on our Instagram. Thanks for your help and support.
Hello and welcome back to the Spotlight.
Yes.
And in this segment, we're going to be talking about the Thunder Warriors.
Yes. So the Spotlight is a little bit different for Season 3. It's worth mentioning. This is where we spend time focusing on one thing, shining the spotlight on it, which is why it's kept the name. So this month is a lore segment. Other months may be faction focuses or guest interviews, various ideas we have going through the season. But for this episode, we're doing kind of tried and true lore segment where we're looking at the Thunder Warriors. So as kind of normal, I'll kind of start us off and we'll dive through history and traits and some really interesting stuff here. So the Thunder Warriors, also sometimes referred to in ancient records as the Thunder Legion or the Thunder Regiments, and they were in 20 regiments or legions of genetically engineered superhuman warriors of Terra, created by the design of the Emperor of Mankind.
20 regiments.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah. It's like he had a template and he didn't know how to change things.
Yeah.
Their purpose was to unite the homeworld of humanity beneath the Emperor's rule during the unification wars on Terra in the late 29th and 30th millenniums. So this is pre-Marines and heresy and all that jazz. Pre-Primarch as well.
Pre-Primarch.
Yeah.
Where did they get their cheap clothes from?
They were the first gene-enhanced warriors created by the Emperor and served as the precursors to the Space Marines. The Thunder Warrior legions were commanded by genetically identical warriors of particular skill, intellect, and mental stability. That's important. Later on, you'll find out why. They each held the rank of, interestingly, a Primarch of a legion. Each legion was particularly focused on a tactical or strategic speciality as well, similar to the later, more perfected pattern that we see amongst the Legion Astartes.
Interesting.
So yeah, very, very similar so far. The Thunder Warriors were known to be physically stronger, more savage, more resilient, and more potent in combat than the later Astartes. Though they were not as long-lived and suffered from often dangerous mental instability and early metabolic collapse when their bodies began to reject their augmentations. So kind of like better but worse. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. The only other thing to mention before we jump into our history is the Mark I Thunder Power Armor. So this was the first pattern of power armor created for the Thunder Warriors. Obviously, back then it was just called Power Armor, and then later got given the name Thunder based on who was wearing it, the Thunder Legions. Mark I. It was no means unique to the Emperor's forces. In fact, a lot of the techno-barbarian warriors the Emperor was fighting during the conquest of Terra, they also wore this pattern of power armor. It was designed with terrestrial environment in mind. It was not fully enclosed, so would not support a wearer in space. Only the upper body was powered, which is really interesting.
So they had like hench legs?
No, they kind of skip leg day.
So they must not skip leg day, because if it's
yeah.
So
Just adds in the
they'd have huge legs, like
huge, and chicken drumsticks, orange, Twiglets for arms.
Do you have any pictures of what the original power armor looked like?
Yeah, there are some pictures online. Quite easily.
I'm going to find it because I want to see it.
Yeah, so only the upper body was powered, due in part to the fact that during the Emperor's conquest of Terra, ranged weapons were difficult to make due to technological constraints, and so a warrior's upper body strength was his most important asset.
Oh, yeah.
It takes the name from the thunderbolt and lightning symbol called the Raptor Imperialis that the Emperor used during the Unification Wars before he adopted the double-headed eagle known as the Aquila.
It's interesting because in the artwork for it, I'm looking at the 40k wiki artwork. All of like the pauldron's his arm, isn't it? The vambrace,
greaves and vambrace.
The legs, basically. No, sorry, the legs part.
Yeah,
the behind the calf.
Greaves, I believe,
is all like you can see like the leather buckles on it.
Yes,
and stuff. So yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah, there was also no standard design Individual suits varied heavily, and their exact designs were often a matter of personal taste. So a little bit more creativity, I suppose, back then. The main part of the armour was the massive powered torso, which enclosed the chest and arms. Coiled energy cables beneath the armour plating transmitted energy from the power pack on the back to the arms, and this greatly increased the warrior's already physical strength even further. The legs of this mark of armour were not powered at all, but enclosed in tough padded breeches, though simple steel plates were sometimes also used. And although uncommon, the best equipped warriors sometimes wore armoured greaves and armoured boots. So, very kind of basic on the legs, with a big power body. In the earliest days before Imperial Science developed ceramite, the Thunder Warriors wore simple metal armour attached with leather strapping and wielded las rifles. Later, just before the end of the Unification Wars, the Thunder Warriors were armed with a large and powerful pattern of what became the standard Astartes bolter. So, just before the end of the Unification, which is an interesting choice, which, again, we'll hear more about as we go through the history. Imperial chronicles hold that the last of the legendary Thunder Warriors died heroically during the final battle of the Unification Wars. That reunified Terra beneath the Emperor. But the truth of the matter was far different, for the Thunder Warriors' fate was bound up in the terrible price that the Emperor proved willing to pay to secure a better future for mankind.
I'm going to poke the bear. Where was the last battle, Matt?
Mount Ararat.
Ararat.
Yes, which we shall hear about more in either one of your two segments, yes. I believe. So Sam's going to take us through some of the history, where it all kind of started, and take us on this bloody path of the Thunder Warriors.
Sure. So during the chaotic period known as the Age of Strife, or Old Night, to some of ye out there who are old, humanity's colonies across the Sol system and nearby star systems were completely cut off from one another. There was no interstellar travel or communication, not even through the use of astropaths. For 5 millennia, anarchy, fear, and violence ruled as old Earth, once unified government, fell apart and fractured into dozens of warring techno-barbarian nations. Endless warfare consumes Terra for 2,500 years, starting in the late 27th millennium. The advanced civilization that once thrived on Earth had all but gone, replaced by brutal warlords and their genetically enhanced armies fighting for control. Terra had become a vast battleground for the apocalyptic wars with no end in sight. In the midst of darkness, the Emperor of Mankind created the first genetically engineered warriors to serve his armies. These proto-Astartes were strong, faster, more powerful than the feral barbarian warlords and their gene-modified soldiers, who controlled the fractious nations on old Earth. The Emperor's creations combined unmatched superhuman strength, resistance to the environment and psychic attacks, and a fierce warrior spirit, all underpinned by the Emperor's own strategic genius. The 20 Thunder regiments were unlike any force that had ever existed before. Against them, the tyrants of old Earth were powerless. In this brutal era that the Emperor of Mankind fully revealed himself to the world, with the thunderous sound of his armies marching beneath the rapturous banners and lightning sigils, he became the unstoppable force that would change the course of history. Pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty good sort of history.
And that's the backdrop.
That's the backdrop.
How Unification was.
So, which I'm now going to talk about. So, emerging from obscurity in the late 29th millennium, the Emperor took a direct and public hand in the future of humanity for the first time in its history. He did this by conquering the various warring factions of mankind's homeworld and establishing his direct rule over Terra during the Unification Wars. The Emperor accepted the deaths of many innocents to achieve the greater good.
The greater good.
Thank you. Of unifying humanity and protecting it from the manifest predators of the warp and the vicious Xenos of the galaxy. Unimaginably large, full-scale battles during the Unification campaign would last for weeks on end, with body counts in the millions that sundered mountains and split entire continents.
Just a lot of death.
A lot of death.
A lot of fighting.
Quite ironically, really, future imperial scholars would later dismiss these victories as hyperbole, refusing to believe that such wars could possibly have been fought, but indeed they were.
It's interesting, right? Because these imperial scholars, like, I guess in this time, future is maybe before the heresy, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's still 1,000 years later before the heresy. But you kind of go, it's not that long in our snapshot of the 41st millennium, Warhammer Grimdark.
Because 1,000 years ago here would be like what?
Well,
19...
No, 1,000 years ago would be 1,024, 25.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't really know, like, lots of history about that happened there. No. Like true history, what happened there. We have, like, archaeological remnants of what happened, right? Yeah. Like, we know stuff like the pyramids and stuff, but we don't actually know what happened there. So there might, like, there's still skepticism around how pyramids are actually built. No one really knows how they were built.
But at the same time, you wouldn't just...
Sorry, I'm not saying that... I'm not condoning that aliens built the pyramids or that any kind of weird and wacky conspiracy theory about the pyramids in any way, shape, or form. I believe people built them. Don't worry. But when? No. Go on, Neil.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, really, you're dismissing the fact that this could have potentially happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, that's fairly scale. I mean. Also, we are aware that the pyramids are not 1,000 years old; they're much older. Just want to put that one out there.
Yeah, sorry.
Just before someone goes, your history is awful. Like, no, we're aware.
My history isn't great. Like my recent history, perfectly fine. Like, I know what's happened, but like that's why it took me so long to figure out what 1,000 minus 21 was. Like,
Sam's maths is not too good. You're gonna have fun editing this episode. The Imperial Historical Chronicles tell us of the last battle of the Unification Wars, known as the Battle of Mount Ararat.
Oh, no, that.
Which was fought in the kingdom of Urartu in 669.M30.
So is that 30k?
No, because 30k is 31.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good point.
That's what I'm saying, 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So during this final battle, the remaining Thunder Warriors were slain to a man. The chronicles recorded that the famed Thunder Warrior, Aric Taranis, known as the Lightning Bearer, raised the banner of lightning at the final declaration of unity, which established the rule of the Emperor of Mankind over the entirety of Terra before dying of his wounds. His final heroic stand was
hold the flag up,
hold the banner up, and then die.
Yeah. History is written by the victor, isn't it?
Yeah,
indeed.
Not that he probably died pissing and shitting himself or anything like that.
So, surprisingly enough, the heroic version of events was completely false.
Oh, pissing
and
himself.
As we've already mentioned, the Thunder Warriors had not died to a man during this final Battle of Unification Wars. They'd actually been brutally culled from existence by the Emperor's own servants on his order. The Thunder Warriors had been destroyed by their creator.
I'm guessing we're going to get to the why part.
Yeah, okay, so cool. I'm going to take us down the road of the culling. So to carry out his plans for humanity, the Emperor accepted that he would have to take certain actions that were essentially immoral in order to achieve the greater good.
The greater good.
For mankind. In the years to come, the Emperor needed the people of Terra to unite behind a single dominant leader in order to begin the future reconquest of the galaxy during the Great Crusade that he intended to unleash. To create his legend and unite all of mankind behind his rule as an enlightened and invincible leader, the official record had to reflect that the Emperor had largely won the war and reunified Terra single-handedly. Additionally, the Thunder Warriors were not like the Astartes who would follow. They had been created solely for war and were not well suited to any other activities. Once peace came to Terra, the Thunder Warriors would have inevitably posed a risk to the new state's stability and their very existence, and the flaws that had resulted in much mental instability and early deaths due to metabolic collapse among their ranks. So it's like the science wasn't quite up to scratch.
Yeah.
All this meant that the Thunder Warriors could not be allowed to survive the conflict they had been created to fight. At first, the Emperor simply did not replace their numbers as they fell to battle or insanity, but then decided to take more active measures. According to Aric Tyrannus, the final culling of the Thunder Warriors took place following the victory of the last Battle of Unity and was carried out by the Legio Custodes. So we got custodes back then. It was a cadre of several hundred custodians, even then believed to have been led by the legendary Constantine Valdor, and accompanied by several thousand prototype Astartes of the First Legion of the newborn Space Marines. These stood in the Emperor's defence, carrying out a merciless culling of the obsolete and rebellious Gene soldiers. Though some Thunder Warriors successfully escaped the culling, however it happened, the vast majority of those who survived the Unification Wars died at the hands of their own allies.
So, effectively, the Emperor killed them because they could only serve one function, which was war.
He made them to be, it's like...
World Eaters.
You've got... kind of.
World Eaters post Nails.
There is some interesting stuff coming up about the World Eaters. But the way I kind of picture it, just with like an easy head on if you're not in deep into 40k lore, is you've got early Hulk, can't be controlled, smashing everything. Smart Banner Hulk, who can, hold a conversation and contain his anger, and end game Hulk kind of vibe. And that's kind of the difference, that the Space Marines were more domestic, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas the Thunder Warriors were known to go crazy in battle, to stop taking orders, to lose their minds. Also, the science seemed to be, because they were so big, fast, strong, even more than an Astartes, their genes would break down and they would just die of early age anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's...
It's the suited to the role that they need to perform, right? At that point, they needed to crush, maim, kill.
We needed murdering...
And we don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
We need people that can think and go to war. Because it's not...
And will follow orders without fail.
If you think as well, it's not when they send Astartes to go and unify worlds, right? If you send Thunder Warriors to do that, they would just go and conquer those worlds.
Just destroy the world.
Whereas the Astartes are there to bring the Emperor light to them and to bring them into the Imperium. And by doing that, like, there might not be a need for fighting. But if they need to, they will. But actually, it's about talking and envoyism. Envoyism, that's the word?
Some of them were better at it than others.
Yeah, and some were better than others.
Yeah, some made skinning pits like the Night Lords, and others were World Eaters. And
everyone has their ways.
Yes.
Cool. So, Survivor's Fate. So, actually, a group of 24 surviving Thunder Warriors, led by the former Primarch of the Katageris. That word, Legion, Ushutan, took part in the Imperial Palace coup orchestrated by the Grand Marshal Uoma. We're going to leave it there. The goal was to hold Captain General Constantine Valdor of the Legion as Custodes accountable for the secret destruction of the Thunder Warriors. These surviving Thunder Warriors joined the coup, driven by the desire for revenge against the Legio Custodes for the betrayal and to seek an honourable death in battle rather than succumb to the madness or the slow decay of their bodies. However, their rebellion was swiftly crushed. The first open engagement of the Space Marines resulted in the massacre of the Thunder Warriors, with Ushutan falling in personal combat to Valdor. Despite this defeat, it's known that small bands of Thunder Warriors continue to survive in hiding, with some even escaping off-world. These rogue survivors were hunted down and eliminated by the Legionnaire, the legions of the Legion Astartes and the future Dark Angels.
Yeah, so when we covered Dark Angels last season, we talked a little bit about their early history, and it was they were going out into the solar to do something, and then they came back all in black.
Yeah.
This is what they were doing.
So basically, they've always been good at hunting fellow allies that have been deemed fallen, like chaos. During the early years of the Great Crusade, a group of surviving Thunder Warriors, calling themselves the Adeptus Terra, played a part in the Cerberus insurrection. The Emperor sent the 12th Legion, the Warhounds, later known as the World Eaters, to crush the uprising. Outnumbered and physically weakened, the Thunder Warriors still managed to slaughter 4 or 5 times their number of Astartes before being overwhelmed in close combat. The battle where the Warhounds excelled.
But that's mental. Like, when you're comparing the kind of strengths and stuff, we have old, weakened Thunder Warriors killing 4 to 5 times their number of Astartes. Well, that's kind of crazy.
So basically, then, in the fighting prowess, it would be Custodes, Thunder Warriors, Astartes.
Yeah. Yes, except you would argue that sound tactic, order, and ability would probably put the Astartes above the Thunder Warriors.
Right.
But if you went 10 Thunder Warriors in a room, 10 Astartes in the room, the Thunder Warriors are the ones walking out. 90%.
I would say if the Thunder Warriors owned the room.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if it was an Astartes room, they would probably have trouble. Like, if they were attacking the Astartes, they'd struggle.
Well, it'd be like if you've got Thunder Warriors fighting the White Scars all on their jet bikes. Perfect battleground that they've picked out. The Astartes would probably tip that battle. But
brute strength
they are just a league above.
Which, when you think about the World Eaters and the fact that they were just run, maim, kill, their tactics are probably lower than, say, the Ultramarines.
Yes.
Anyway, at least one Thunder Warrior survived into the early 31st millennium during the time of the Horus Heresy. This was the legendary Arik Taranis, known by many names, including Babu Dakar. Over time, Taranis had learned some of the Emperor's technique for the creating Thunder Warriors, attempting to replicate them to form a new army under his command. Taranis suspected that the Emperor had intentionally limited the lifespan of his creations. I mean, that makes
quite a lot
of sense. Like, that's what you do, right? You don't let AI you don't let the thing just last forever. Eventually, after Thunder Warrior named Gota killed a member of the traitor Marines called the Outcast Dead, Taranis was able to stabilize the genetic instability that plagued his warriors through the cost of his own health. Died.
What was it? Shitting and whatever you said.
It's so long ago since I read that book.
Yeah. When that came up, I was like, I can't remember that.
What book's then?
The Outcast Dead.
That makes sense. There's also speculation that Inyudhar, the World Eater turned Black Shield, may have been a former Thunder Warrior or other genetically enhanced super soldier who was specifically transformed into a Space Marine. Maybe that was like to try it out.
Or maybe he was like captured in that battle with the World Eaters and then went, he's too good, we're going to just turn him into one of us.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, but why wouldn't the Emperor
try that amongst...
To be fair, though, I feel like the Emperor is one of these very black and white type of people, right? Like, no, they're not good enough. We can't risk it.
Whereas also at that time, he wasn't ready to produce legions of Astartes. He had the first legion, but he didn't have everything that he had. So maybe doing that mass across the board with all these Thunder Warriors was not doable. Whereas this one guy who maybe proved himself, or we don't really know what. Like, again, this is all rumor.
Yeah, but Har was the reason they think Har was a former.
Thunder Warrior.
There we go. Jesus, that's difficult. The reason why he's a former Thunder Warrior was because he was far larger, stronger, and quicker than most Space Marines, and he lacked the cranial implants of the Butcher's nails. Although he lacked the cranial implants of the Butcher's nails, he was notably more brutal and mentally unstable. Malkador the Sigillite considered Har a special case. Har himself confirmed that he had fought alongside the Emperor during the Unification Wars and referred to Date Tar as his brothers.
So it sounds like maybe Malkador went, this guy's a special case, so let's turn him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting.
So, massive physiques.
I thought you'd like that title.
And the flaws that come with it. Blimey, I had that for a while. The Thunder Warriors were massive super soldiers, taller and broader than even most firstborn Space Marines. Despite the physical, mental, and metabolic deterioration that was their eventual fate, the few Thunder Warriors that secretly survived until the end of the Unification Wars were easily more than a match for an Astartes, and had even outperformed some Custodes of the Legio Custodi, and had even outperformed some of the Custodians of the Legio Custodes during certain combat engagements. The Thunder Warriors were created to be highly resistant to psychic attacks, perhaps because they constantly faced chaos-corrupted opponents who wielded sorcery during the campaigns of the Unification Wars in the late Age of Strife. Any attempt at unleashing a mental attack upon a Thunder Warrior caused severe pain to the attacking Psyker.
I wonder whether this had something to do with their mental instability, because why would you get rid of that trait when you replicated it into the Astartes?
Yeah.
Like, clearly there must be a reason you couldn't or didn't.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's got a big thing about their mental instability. Because I know obviously you get like the Thousand Suns and stuff, but like, I don't know, as the Emperor who knows chaos is a thing, surely you'd go, well, actually we'll just make every Astartes able with this ability.
Yeah.
Unless he couldn't or decided he can't, like for a different reason. I don't know.
So in addition to their incredible physical strength, the Thunder Warrior's skeletal system had been augmented to be thicker than that of a Space Marine. A Thunder Warrior was thus capable of shattering the skull of a Marine with a simple headbutt. And also, the Thunder Warrior's reflexes had also been greatly enhanced. I'll definitely not be headbutted by one of these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet, for all the incredible physical and martial abilities, the Thunder Warrior's genetic template was notoriously unstable, and they were prone to fits of uncontrollable bloodlust and mental instability. These included hallucinations. Short-lived and rife with mental and physical health issues, Thunder Warriors were known to suffer from sudden, unexpected death outside of combat, or, more dangerously, stop following their superiors' orders while in the heat of battle. Unlike Legionnaires Astartes who replaced them, they were deeply emotional and relished in the power and savagery they felt during combat. Their full human emotions were not altered, lessened, or expunged from them as they had been in the Space Marines and the Custodians. It seemed obvious in retrospect that the Emperor knew early on that the Imperium needed a more permanent and stable force of gene-enhanced warriors, so even while the Thunder Warriors waged war in the Emperor's name, he gathered about him a team of scientists and gene splicers and constructed new genetic laboratories deep in the vast dungeons of his Terran fortress within the Himalayan mountains. This team became known as the Imperial Biotechnological Division, or Imperial Biotechnical Division. The labour there went on for solar decades in absolute secrecy and resulted in the creation of the true sons, the Primarchs. Wow, he's so happy to just cast off everything every time.
Because they're not real people.
Yeah, just
To him, they're not real
wipe
people.
them out.
Yeah, they're not. They've served their function. They've done their job. They were a tool that was right at the time, but then they're no longer right. Therefore, just remove them. It's pretty
Upgrade them.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
So though the Thunder Warriors were superior in every physical aspect of their creation to the later Space Marines, they suffered from one flaw that the later Astartes would not. Their lifespans were extremely short. The Thunder Warriors were not created to live beyond the achievement of unity. This was a genetic flaw that may have been deliberately written into their DNA during their creation, to assure that when their usefulness was an end, the warriors would cease to exist, so that they may be replaced by a more balanced transhuman warrior, i.e. the Space Marines led by the Primarchs. The Proto-Astartes were a means to an end, the conquest of a single world, whilst their genetic successors were intended to travel the stars and conquer the galaxy.
Yeah, I had a lot of respect for the Thunder Warriors after doing this. Like, you kind of read how strong and how fast and how you just good at what they were bred to do. And I don't know, it also has a bit of a light of you understand why the Emperor did what he did, but he's also a bastard for doing it.
Yes.
And I like that kind of consistency of his character. But yeah, anything to add?
part of me was a bit like, I'd love to be able to run.
Yeah, some Thunder Warriors.
Some Thunder Warriors. Like, I don't think they're ever going to do it in the Horus Heresy.
No.
But like, if they ever look to expand into other like factions that are around at the time, like they could do Orcs, they could do Eldar, for example. You could very easily add in like some Thunder Warriors.
Little ally force of Thunder Warriors.
Yeah, well, they already had that example of the breeding his own from the Outcast Dead, so they clearly exist.
Yeah.
Even if they were just brought in like in like a not a Death Watch, a Kill Team style level. But yeah, I think it was quite cool. I didn't know that all about Thunder Warriors. So
yeah, well, hopefully you enjoyed that too. We're going to take a quick break and round out our episode. Do you want to paint some models? Come on, let's go and paint. They're always sitting on the shelf. They won't paint themselves. Do you want them to stay all grey? Hi, I'm Matt, and you may remember me from such things as pessimist or realist, you decide. Laziness, the hobby killer, and the burning of Hivani Prime. I'm here to tell you about the monthly hobby hangouts that we host online. These run usually the last Sunday of every month from 8 PM UK time, where you will be greeted by one of the podcast hosts. Every month is a blast with lots of chatter around the hobby as well as wider life in a friendly atmosphere. Some of us get a decent amount of hobby done, but by no means is that the must for these hangouts. We post updates and links to these events through our Facebook safe room and Discord channel, so jump on those to join in with other members of the Adeptus Terra community. We hope to see you there.
hello, and welcome to the end of the show. I've been your host. No, what are we doing? Well, thank you very much for listening to the episode, the first episode of season 3. Slightly different to our normal kind of layout, but hopefully still the same familiar warm hug that you're used to in your ears, coming in your ears every month. So, a quick reminder of the next hobby hangout, 23rd of Feb at 8 PM. Don't forget the weekly hangouts, 8:30 on a Wednesday, all on Google Hangouts, not anywhere else. Social media. We have a Discord, which would be fantastic if you want to join. We've had a new joiner this week, which is quite nice. Always looking to grow that.
Yeah, community. We'd really like to grow our Discord community. Yep. This season is going to be one of our focuses.
Yeah.
If you have Discord or if you want to give it a go, we have a good, fun, small, positive community of like-minded people. So jump on and say hello.
Yeah. We also have a Facebook community page. So if you're not on Discord and you love your Facebooks, then we're there. So just hit that, search for the Adeptus Terra podcast community, and that will come up. We also have Instagram, which we try to regularly post to, but also we'll link out to our own personal ones, which we're better at posting to than the main one.
That's one of my kind of, not New Year's resolutions, but I'm going to try and post more on my... I turned my personal Instagram into like a hobby Instagram.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then posted like 6 times. So I'm going to try and post a bunch more kind of works in progress on that.
Cool.
And then
I guess the final thing to say is that that's it really, isn't it?
I can't think of anything else. Obviously, this is the start of season 3. Let us know how you felt about the new layout and the new segments. We look forward to kind of carrying on throughout the year with another season, and watch this space as we kind of carry on as we have done in a new way.
Yes.
So until next episode, I guess all that's left to say is that I've been Matt.
I've been Sam.
And I've been Neil.
And this has been the Adeptus Terra podcast. See you next time.
And I blame Sam.